The man shocked everyone around him just by summoning a basic class weapon. They were stunned because this weapon belongs to someone at the very top of the player rankings, the Black Scythe. To get this weapon, the first thing the man did, after being reborn, was to slaughter 999 goblins to trigger the Angel Descent quest. But when the angel prepared to grant the quest reward, the man punched the angel without hesitation. While the angel was still in shock, the man stepped forward and ripped off the angel's wings. He knew that despite the charming and shy exterior, this angel was actually a demon who saw humans as trash. The real reason he killed it was to obtain the angel heart. By using the angel heart, one could change classes to the hidden job, Reaper. In his past life, he relied on the Reaper class to reach the final stage. But he never expected the final room would require 5 players to open. Unable to meet the requirement, he was wiped out right at the end. Now awake again. He is back on the first day of the Angel Descent. This is his last chance. When the clock struck 12, a golden glow filled the sky. The angel's arrival turned the night into day. No one knew what was happening. I hate this face no matter how many times I see it. The angel looked down at them as if they were mere ants. Someone said it must be a New Year's stunt. The next moment, that man was blown to bits. The angel warned, "Ants have no right to interrupt. I will explain the situation to you insects. You are going to a new world to play a game. Your souls will be transported there. But don't worry, the participants are limited to those aged 15 to 25. You will be taken away. If you complete the assigned tasks, you will return to this world with massive rewards. Now, your game begins." In a flash of white light, everyone arrived in a virtual space. Everyone could customize their appearance and had to choose a new name. The man didn't hesitate. He had used this name 99 times and would use it to finish his mission. Black Scythe. Soon, a massive crowd of players flooded in. Everyone made themselves look stunning, but he knew well that standing out too much invites trouble. Next, the angel appeared and announced that 1.8 billion players had joined the game. The people nearby couldn't believe it. They didn't see that many people. The angel grew angry at their stupidity, stating there wasn't just one arena. Think of a window, and it will appear. That window tracks all your stats and items. All you have to do is survive in the game for 20 minutes. Now it is time to play. With a snap of the angel's fingers, goblins spawned across the land. Everyone looked at the monsters with pure terror. The angel announced a battle between 50,000 goblins and 10,000 humans. As the goblins charged, the crowd panicked. Right then, the man stepped up. He understood that in a team, your first impression is vital. He did this to separate himself from the weak, and more importantly, he had to catch the angel's eye to leave a lasting impression. The crowd watched Black Scythe kill goblins with ease and thought they could do it too. But as they tried to fight, a goblin killed one man instantly. Now they realized they were no match for these creatures, but the area was locked by a barrier, leaving them no way to escape. The angel loved their reaction, but was soon drawn to Black Scythe. This man had killed 70 goblins single-handedly. The angel was baffled. Within moments, the man leveled up and completed the required task. I spent 10 minutes slaughtering goblins, hoping to get the angel's attention. Besides, I did this to get the top-ranking special reward, the #1 player in the zone. It's a weapon exchange voucher. Looking at the weapons, he chose the scythe without hesitation, since he was the first to finish. He got a chance to use a rune. When he crushed it, he received the reincarnation rune, but it detected he had used it 100 times. Just as he thought, he couldn't get it again. Since the man won the challenge, he felt the reward was too small and made a request to the angel. He demanded an extra reward. Everyone nearby was in disbelief. He actually dared to make demands of an angel, and he insisted on it. The angel wanted to kill him instantly, but that power was limited. The angel gave a creepy smile and said, "You deserve a better reward. I think the two of us should have a private talk." The angel thought he could punish the man, but this was exactly what Black Scythe wanted. As the angel prepared to strike, Black Scythe punched him first. This wasn't following the script. He couldn't figure this guy out. He couldn't believe a human actually hit him. Just as the angel tried to kill him, Black Scythe vanished. The angel felt a deep chill. Black Scythe was already behind him. He grabbed the angel's wings. The intense pain made the angel scream. "Who the heck are you?" Black Scythe told him not to panic. This was just to make him behave. The angel glared at him with pure hatred. I know you have questions, and I know you want to kill me. With the dagger hidden under your wing, don't even try to deny it. I can. Read your mind perfectly, right, Brielle? Then, like Scythe pulled out a blade and stabbed the angel through the heart. He did all this to unlock a hidden achievement. He only knew this because of his 99 cycles. When he got the slaying rune, his stats against divine enemies, his stats doubled. But more importantly, only the one who kills. The angel is qualified to take the Reaper class trial. Right now, the most important thing for Black Scythe is to level up. Meanwhile, after a brutal struggle, the others passed their tasks. Only 5,000 survived. Shortly after, those who passed the first round woke up. They felt like it was all a dream, but seeing the dead bodies nearby, they realized this was real. One man remembered the angel's words and tried calling up his status window. It actually appeared in reality. He picked up a rock, proving that his in-game stats carried over to the real world. Crushing the rock into powder, he felt the incredible power. News outlets everywhere began reporting on this new world of superhumans. Everything was going exactly as Black Scythe. Those with power would grow rapidly. Once players reached a certain level, no one in the real world could stop them. That is why I must obtain the ultimate power. Power to suppress and make them submit. However, now is not the time to act. The first thing Black Scythe did was go home to his sleeping brother. His brother was his only weakness. Their parents died in a car crash, leaving them to rely on each other. Seeing the bruises on his brother, he vowed not to let anyone hurt him again. The next morning, Black Scythe took him to a dojo and told him everything. His brother was confused about why they were there so early. Looking at his brother's injured hand, he said, "Because the guy who hurt you is in here." Inside the dojo, Black Scythe asked, "You're the one who bullied him, right?" The punk didn't care. "So you actually told your big brother?" The punk threw a punch, but Black Scythe dodged it with a tilt of his head. "I will start with a simple lesson." Black Scythe countered with a punch. The punk went flying. Enraged, he screamed that he would kill him, but was met with a more violent strike. "If you ever touch my brother again, I will make you suffer 100 times worse." "Got it. I want to hear your answer." Soon, they left the dojo. After that lesson, the kid should behave. Now, I have something more important to do. While his brother watched in shock, he spent their last 100,000 on lottery tickets. With 1.8 billion players, half were already dead after the first round. Survivors would soon realize the value of game gear. Huge amounts of cash would be poured into equipment. These tickets were their future security. Black Scythe already remembered the winning numbers. The scene shifted as the second round began. Players were summoned back to the world as expected. His display of power in round 1 had made everyone fear him. Just then, an angel appeared again. Is this a new angel? No one knew that Black Scythe had already killed the original one. He knew that in the second round, there was no need to fight goblins. They just needed to elect a zone representative within 3 hours. Everyone was confused. Was the task really that simple? The angel confirmed it, but added that the representative would have absolute authority to command anyone to do anything. Obedience was mandatory. A 3-hour countdown started. While everyone was relieved they didn't have to fight, the angel wore a sinister grin. While they debated who to elect, Black Scythe knew that wasn't the main point. Games always had hidden subquests. To get more resources, he needed to level up during the double EXP period. I need to kill these goblins as fast as possible to reach level 10. I'll take their souls as EXP to change my class. Become my experience points so I can advance sooner. Provoked, the goblins charged. In an instant, they fell by his hand. He had to head deep into the forest to ensure human safety. The angel hadn't spawned goblins on the outskirts, deep in the woods. As he expected, there were plenty of them. Now it was hunting time. The ground was covered in goblin corpses, immersed in the slaughter. He lost track of time. I didn't realize I'd been killing goblins here for half an hour. Checking his status, he was just short of level 10. He dumped his points into agility, as it increased his speed, attack rate, and dodge chance all went up. As he was about to continue, he sensed movement behind him. "Turn around. I don't know what you're up to." A blonde woman appeared, claiming she meant no harm. Behind her, another man apologized. Black Scythe suddenly remembered who he was. His game name was ManhWa, one of the 5 players, destined to be chosen. He also needed the powerful priest behind him for his team. Is this woman that legendary priest? Black Scythe was terrifying. Why are you following me? The woman said she saw how strong he was. Following the strong increases the chance of survival. I want to team up with you. I'll do anything you ask. Anything? I'm not interested unless you can actually be useful. Clearly, you aren't at my level yet. His attitude was incredibly arrogant. As he walked away, they finally collapsed in relief. He isn't just strong, his aura is absolutely overwhelming. The scene shifted. Black Scythe continued his endless slaughter. Higher-level werewolves were drawn to him, but he showed no fear, only excitement. In fact, he was thrilled. The werewolves fell one by one. As the last one died, he finally reached level 10. A prompt appeared before Black Scythe. Since he finished the pre-quests, he could now change his class. Meanwhile, the others were clueless, not having a clue how to advance. But he was already prepared. For the Reaper class, the moment he crushed the Angel Heart, the system notified him of the class change. To Reaper, as a unique class, once Black Scythe hit confirm. Runic power swirled around him. You have received the Reaper rune. Your stats have surged, and you've gained the unique weapon, the Reaper's Scythe, along with the exclusive skill. I have the Reaper. Since you are the first player to advance, you've earned a tracking skill. Just enter a player's name to find their appearance and location. When he entered Huang Yongming, the system showed the target was only 190 meters away. Black Scythe didn't expect him to be this deep in the forest too. Following the ground markers, he went to track him down. He was definitely worth checking out. Huang Yongming was about to attack 2 people. The man cried out, "We have no beef. Why target me? I'm not after you. My target has always been the woman behind you. She looks exactly like the superstar Sue Allen." The man started to hesitate. If he had known, he would have ditched her already. As the heir to a top corporation, dying for a woman just wasn't worth it. Just then, those idiots finally noticed Black Scythe. They had no idea how long he'd been standing there. Black Scythe, I don't like meddling in trouble, but these 2 are useful to me. So Scram, seeing Black Scythe, their fear from the first round returned. But Huang Yongming reconsidered. Back in the real world, he could punch through a 10-meter thick wall. Maybe Black Scythe was no longer a match for him. Feeling confident, he said, "Black Scythe, you're acting way too cocky." He moved to attack, but Black Scythe simply put his weapon away. While Huang was confused, he said, "I will crush you with your own greatest strength." To show you how pathetic you really are, Huang thought. The guy must be joking. And charged with his fist. Before he knew it, Black Scythe was right beside him and struck him instantly. Huang Yongming couldn't believe he couldn't even last 1 round. Black Scythe grabbed him and followed up with a brutal assault. His lackey tried a sneak attack, but Black Scythe was ready. The lackey couldn't even hit him. Black Scythe closed in, summoned the scythe, and in a flash, the man's arm was gone. He couldn't believe the massive gap between them. "Don't worry, you won't be lonely. I'll send your teammates to join you." "Are you trying to play hide and seek with me?" He looked around, knowing hiding was useless. 1 slash and a head rolled. "This is for what you owe me." Black Scythe recalled the past. His former best friend had gained power and led a mob against him. "I'm giving all that pain back to you." The fight ended, and he told the 2, "You're safe now. They can't do anything but vote." The 2 thanked him profusely. Black Scythe had no obligation to help, and they offered money as a reward once back in reality. But Black Scythe had more important things to do and left. Meanwhile, the others were bickering over the zone representative spot. Everyone was bragging about how they would treat players well if elected. Just then, a green-haired player stepped forward. His voice silenced the crowd. He was secretly pleased that his rune effect was working so well. But another man spoke up against him. Green Hair tried to use a subjugation rune on him, hoping for compliance, but the man only got more aggressive. "My rune isn't working on him," the man barked. "Everyone must vote now, or you'll end up like him." Without warning, he killed the green-haired guy. It happened so fast. "This guy is a murderer. That's a crime." The man sneered. "Does anyone have a problem? There's no jail, and no police here. Obey me. Once I become the zone representative, I will be the king of this world. At the same time, Black Scythe checked his status. While others were level 5 or 6, he was already at a terrifying level 16. Having advanced successfully, he was summoned. When he opened his eyes, he saw bodies everywhere. The man's name was Zhao Zhongji, a notorious psycho. He swaggered over when he saw Black Scythe. Black Scythe, I've been waiting for you. Black Scythe replied, I'm curious to hear. Why you're waiting? Join my side and submit to me. You don't have the right to refuse. Black Scythe looked at him. Have you heard the saying? Trash belongs in the trash can. Faced with such arrogance, the man's fury peaked instantly. I'll kill you. But Black Scythe ignored him. He opened his hand, and the Reaper's scythe appeared, glowing with a blood-red and terrifying aura. The man was stunned by the weapon's sudden appearance. Black Scythe said calmly, watch your mouth, or you'll pay the price. Zhao Zhongji was sweating buckets. But his pride wouldn't let him back down. He yelled, bring it on. Black Scythe laughed helplessly. Even a ghost couldn't beat you. When you're bluffing, if I didn't need him for the 3rd round, I'd kill him right now. Just then, an angel appeared. Free hours are up. Please start your voting. The man glared at Black Scythe and screamed at the crowd, if anyone doesn't vote for me, I'll kill them. I must become the zone representative. To kill Black Scythe, the voting windows appeared before everyone. Most players stared at the man in fear. The man kept screaming at the top of his lungs, everyone must vote for me. Time is up. Let's see the final results. The angel clapped their hands lightly. The result for the zone representative flashed onto the massive screen. The man indeed came in first, but he was still seething inside. He couldn't believe that despite his threats, half of the people still voted for Black Scythe. Just then, the angel announced that the man would be the zone representative. He wore a smug grin. The very first thing he planned to do with his power was to kill Black Scythe. Now, I shall grant the representative their authority. However, the man's face immediately twisted in horror. The power of the zone representative could only be used 10 times. Moreover, it could only control one person at a time, and the skill could not influence players who had already changed classes. The angel smiled. Time for rewards. There was a hidden task in this quest. A window appeared before the crowd. Players who completed their class change before the voting began get a bonus. This window became available once you reached level 10. You fools wasted 3 hours of precious time. The crowd was filled with deep regret, but don't be too hard on yourselves. Out of 1.8 billion players, only 80,000 succeeded. And our zone happens to have one of them. Everyone was stunned. Let's see who among these billions became a Reaper. Black Scythe was actually the first to complete the advancement. His class is Reaper. The crowd stared at the dark figure. I knew since round 1 that he was a terrifying man. Zhao Zhongji was the one freeing the most. He wanted to use his authority to kill him, but rankings were based on completion time. Black Scythe wasn't just advanced, he was the first across all zones to do so. Now, I'm very curious about something. Your name and your class fit perfectly. Did you know beforehand you'd become a Reaper? Black Scythe replied that it was all a coincidence. Even he didn't expect to get a class that matched his alias. He was relieved that the angel only knew it was a hidden class, but didn't know it required an angel's heart to unlock. I must inform you that you are the only one here immune to the representative's control. The people in the zone looked confused upon hearing this. What does that mean? The angel then explained how the representative's skill worked. If you don't want to be controlled, reach level 10 and change classes as fast as possible. And for you, here is your reward, a rare equipment exchange scroll. Black Scythe didn't hesitate to choose leather armor that suited him. For being first in a region, he chose an EXP boost that would take effect in round 3. A bright light appeared. It was time to go back. Upon returning, Black Scythe didn't rest. Instead, he used his tracking skill on Xiangzhe. Sure enough, he was located in a specific building. He immediately left his home. It seemed the man was planning to report back. Black Scythe followed him to a skyscraper. And Xiangzhe was meeting with Ma Tianlu. He flattered him, saying, "You're such a powerful player. I saw the Angels leaderboard, and you're the second Dark Knight." Ma Tianlu knew this guy was only sucking up because he wanted something. Eventually, and Xiangzhe asked for advice on how to successfully change classes. Ma Tianlu gave a vague answer, claiming he just killed a few goblins and stumbled into the advancement zone. Only he knew that every player had a chance for a random rune. He relied on that luck to succeed. Even with a close partner, he wouldn't share that secret. Meanwhile, downstairs, Black Scythe thought to himself, what a foolish choice. Becoming a Dark Knight is a stupid decision. Dark Knight is an extremely powerful class. but it has a severe weakness. And Dark-type mana is incredibly hard to find in this game. This is why the Dark Knight became incredibly powerful in a 10th class. Early next morning, Black Lotus went to the lottery shop, but this time it was to apologize to the owner, relying on memories from his past life. Black Lotus had won tens of billions in prize money. His actions caused the government to order the shop to stay closed. Black Lotus hoped to compensate them with money. After speaking, he turned to leave. Then, the owner's daughter chased after him. It turned out his goal wasn't just the shop, but to cross paths with this girl. She was a rare blessing type mage. In his past life, he had saved her during a battle with monsters. Her sincerity had truly touched his heart. Looking at her now, he realized she might be the one weakness in his heart. He then looked at her and teased, "Let's find a place for a date." Julie was stunned, clearly not expecting him to be so direct. But to his surprise, Julie agreed immediately and said, "Be there or be square," just as he was about to leave. She hurriedly stood up. "Do you really not remember me? Back then, we were seatmates. Every time he was bullied by classmates, she was the one who summoned the courage to secretly call the police and even followed him to make sure he got home safe. No matter what happened, he always had a smile. That smile healed her. She didn't even know when she started falling for him. But she was way too shy. Until graduation day, she never dared to even say hello. This time she promised herself not to be a coward. The next morning, both arrived early at the meeting spot. Looking at the boy in front of her, Julie felt like it was a dream come true. "Oh, I have something I want to give you." She then pulled a glowing purple hand-shaped item from her pocket. "I got this from hunting monsters in the other world. You can't say no." Shortly after, their meeting ended. Walking down the street, Black Lotus looked thrilled. Looking at his status window, he thought, "I can't believe I got this so early this time." To others, it might look like a plain, low-level, purple crystal, but only he knew that at level 20, players unlock combo skills. This feature allows the fusion of magic and weapons, adding extra abilities. Crystals come in 7 colors. Red increases damage, orange boosts defense, blue represents mana, and green is for agility. Cyan and red represent luck and damage reduction, while purple is considered useless by everyone, and its drop rate is insanely low. But only he knew they had no idea that the socketing method for purple crystals is unique. It possesses the traits of every other crystal type. It's a true mythic tier item. Later, lying in bed, he kept staring at the shop window. The shop carries mostly common items, which makes it easy for newbies to get through the early game. Right now, he kept hitting the refresh button. High quality items spawn randomly with a very low chance. But he knew that today, a one-of-a-kind epic tier item would appear. Seeing the 4,600 gold price tag, he felt lucky to have earned over 10,000 gold in 2 rounds. Of course, he could also use the rewards from his class change quest. In the end, he spent only 2,300 gold to get his first epic. Looking at his remaining 10,000 gold, he thought about buying more gear but decided against it. If he saved another 6,000 gold, he could buy a new skill. Soon, the bell rang, and everyone was pulled into the angel game again. All those summoned found the surroundings completely unfamiliar. The high city walls made them feel safe, thinking this mission would be easy. Only Black Lotus knew this mission would be a total disaster for them. Most of them would die here. Just then, Zhao Zhongji heard a noise and turned around. He saw Huang Yoming shouting, claiming he wanted to be his lackey. Seeing Zhao's confused look, Huang said he wanted to join his faction and follow his lead. Even Zhao Zhongji was surprised, but having a subordinate didn't seem like a bad thing. Seeing this, the crowd thought this guy was a total brown-noser. Meanwhile, Black Lotus had a mocking smile. While everyone was arguing, the angel descended before their eyes. This mission seemed simple enough. Then, a notification window appeared. 4,900 people joined. Protect the central holy stone for 3 hours. Suddenly, a player screamed in terror, "This mission is bugged. The system is wrong." The angel enjoyed watching the humans' terrified faces. There is no error. This time, 75% of the players will be wiped out. The rule is that in every round, half the players are eliminated. Since you all survived the last round safely, only a quarter of you can live through this one. The relaxed atmosphere turned tense. Instantly, goblins will swarm from the 4 gates, and their goal is to destroy the holy stone. You all must work together to protect it for 3 hours. If the stone breaks, you will face severe punishment. Also, I should mention, win or lose, rewards are based on your kill count. Every round, The monsters will outnumber you. 2-1. Zhao Zhongji looked smug. With his representative status, he could kill more monsters. Suddenly, the angel called his name. The angel said there was one more thing. If a representative is killed by monsters or dies naturally, the position stays empty. What if they are killed by a player? Then the person who killed them becomes the new representative. Next thing you know, countless eyes were on Zhao. He felt his skin crawl and started cursing at the angel. He had clearly become everyone's target. He tried to scare them off, but they already knew how his skills worked and weren't afraid at all. Just as the crowd was about to move, Black Lotus spoke up. Zhao Zhongji knew very well that if Black Lotus decided to strike, he wouldn't stand a chance. But Black Lotus simply said, "We can make a deal." While Zhao Zhongji wondered what kind of deal, Black Lotus spoke. "If you agree, I'll protect you during this round." Hearing this, Zhao was stunned, and even surrounding players looked at them in disbelief. Against Black Lotus, they had zero confidence. "What's your condition?" "My condition is actually quite simple. Obedience. Absolute obedience to my orders." Zhao couldn't understand why protecting him required him to take orders. He didn't want to serve Black Lotus, but everyone else was watching him like a hawk. His pride wouldn't let him bow down. "All right, tell me your decision." Black Lotus already knew what it would be. Zhao's ego would never let him submit. "I refuse." He actually chose pride over survival. "Fine, then your life or death has nothing to do with me." With that, Black Lotus turned and left. Seeing this, the crowd was itching to make a move. Right then, the alert sounded. The first wave of monsters is attacking. Everyone scattered and began to fight around the holy stone. In this battle, Zhao Zhongji realized he had no friends, just as he was about to go solo. He saw Black Lotus alone and decided to follow him. That's the East Gate, the monster entrance. Does he really plan to take on a whole swarm by himself? A moment later, Zhao's face filled with terror. The number of goblins was far greater than he had imagined. He bolted back. When he reached the top floor of a building, he happened to see Black Lotus standing before the East Gate. The goblin army looked absolutely terrifying. Black Lotus simply swung his scythe, sending hundreds of goblins flying. Zhao couldn't believe his eyes. This wasn't defense. It was a one-man massacre. "I can't keep hiding here. I need to kill goblins to get stronger. I have to level up." Under the radar, he easily took down a goblin, then punched another one trying to sneak up from behind. He was relieved that his rune was a detection type. But just then, something whistled past his ear. He narrowly dodged the hit and looked back. It was an arrow. "Those bastards are still hunting me." Suddenly, someone charged from behind with a spear, aimed at Zhao. Infuriated, he grabbed the spear and killed the attacker in one strike. Right then, another hidden arrow came flying. He turned and spotted the shooter, then hurled his spear, taking out the archer. Zhao was starting to regret being the representative. He looked around desperately for someone strong to control. His eyes darted everywhere until there, the third high-strength player in the area, the almighty icon above Zhao's head, flashed, "Serve me." Meanwhile, Black Lotus's attack speed became even more terrifying. When he checked his window, in just half an hour, he had earned 2,000 gold from the monsters. At this rate, he could buy new skills by the second wave. His level was also nearing 20. A goblin tried to sneak up from behind, but that was impossible. On this battlefield, he was the apex predator. With one sweep, every monster within meters was cut down. The surrounding goblins started to panic, but he wouldn't let all that XP and gold walk away. Soon, the first wave defense was successful. Only 3,933 players remained. Looking at the corpses everywhere, Black Lotus thought, he's still alive. He's tough. By now, Zhao Zhongji was at his breaking point. Every single second, he had to watch for monster attacks and player betrayals. Luckily, he used Almighty to force players to protect him. That was the only reason he made it through the first wave. Zhao didn't use Almighty on Huang Yongming, yet Huang was still fighting desperately to keep him safe. Right then, the alert came again. The second wave is coming. Number of monsters, 7,866. Black Lotus stayed at the East Gate, slaughtering goblins with ease. Before long, he hit level 20 and unlocked the Reaper's exclusive skill, Night of Death. Night of Death paired perfectly with the Reaper rune. Watching the next batch of goblins, he thought, perfect time to test this out. When Night of Death activated, all the goblins were blinded. Black Lotus became a literal god of death, mercilessly tearing through their ranks. He was very satisfied with the results. He then opened the shop and bought the universal skill, Detection. Once activated, he could feel that there was no one within 300 meters. Time flew by, and soon the final wave arrived. Zhao had used all 10 of his almighty charges. Everyone was paralyzed with fear because the Number of monsters in the last wave was 4 times the number of survivors. Even worse, only 1,225 people had to remain for the mission to end. At that moment, the crowd became even more obsessed with killing Zhao. Getting his almighty skill now would guarantee their survival. As his pawns fell one by one, Zhao had no choice but to run for his life. Without hesitation, he bolted toward the east gate. He deeply regretted turning down Black Lotus's deal. He soon reached him and screamed, "I'll take the deal. Whatever you want, I'll agree to anything." But Black Lotus said coldly, "I told you, your life or death is no concern of mine." Zhao fell into despair. "I'm willing to be your servant. Why are you rejecting me now?" Black Lotus's words crushed him. "Without your almighty charges, you're useless to me. Zhao Zhongji, you really brought this on yourself. I was actually worried about what I'd do if Black Lotus saved you." At his wit's end, Zhao screamed, "Anyone who touches me gets the wire. I'll electrocute you all." Just then, Huang Yoming stepped out from the crowd. Seeing him, Zhao felt a glimmer of hope. "Quick, help me." Huang took the chance and delivered a direct blow to Zhao. Looking down at the broken man, Huang ripped off his mask of loyalty. He grabbed Zhao and punched him square in the face. Huang Yoming literally beat Zhao to death. Then, a notification appeared. Huang Yoming is the new representative. Now the regional representative began to fantasize. He wanted to control Su Aling and make her serve him. Everyone's eyes were locked on him, and they were dying to kill him the very next second. But Huang Yoming didn't show a hint of fear as he ran toward the side under their gaze. He told Black Lotus that since he was now the representative, he was valuable. "I want to be your subordinate," he said. But Black Lotus replied, "Whether you are my subordinate or not doesn't really matter to me. Right now, you're the one begging me, so get on your knees, then maybe I'll consider your request." Huang Yoming knew that if he refused, the people behind him would kill him without hesitation. He made up his mind. "I back you, let me be your subordinate." Looking at the man, he thought, "I'll make you pay for this humiliation later." Black Lotus looked at him with growing disgust. "I'll protect you, as long as you obey me." Black Lotus walked forward slowly. "If you don't want to die by my hand, leave." With Black Lotus protecting him, there was no way they could kill Huang Yoming. Seeing this, the crowd did the smart thing and backed away. Huang Yoming was truly shocked that Black Lotus could terrify everyone with just one sentence. However, Black Lotus was scanning the area, calculating the current progress. This round would be an easy win. But Black Lotus felt it would be a waste to just let it in like this. He turned to Huang and said, "Use your almighty to control 10 people and destroy the Holy Stone." Huang originally wanted to save one charge for Su Aling. He tried to negotiate with Black Lotus to keep one used for himself. Black Lotus replied, "You're in no position to negotiate." Then, Black Lotus called out 10 names. Huang Yoming was stunned because all his friends were included. He muttered, "I'm sorry." In the next moment, everyone was under his control. They launched a frantic attack on the Holy Stone. The crowd screamed, "Are you crazy?" When the Holy Stone shattered, a notification announced that the main mission had failed. This terrified the crowd even more. The Divine Retribution Agent is about to descend, but Black Lotus only had a smile on his face. He knew this was the hidden mission of the third round. But no one expected that breaking the Holy Stone would reduce all their stats by 50%. Was this why Black Lotus didn't want to do it himself? When they saw the mission rewards, they thought it was worth it. They fantasized about just surviving for 30 minutes. However, the Divine Retribution Agent is extremely difficult. In his past life, only about 300 people survived this round. Even Black Lotus wasn't 100% sure. Now, Black Lotus had to suit up and add extra attribute bonuses to all his gear. Next, heavy rain and wind lashed the town, looking like the apocalypse. Everyone began to doubt themselves. Can we really? When at this stage, Black Lotus muttered, "Is it finally here?" Next, the sky was torn open. Black Lotus remembered he was the first person to kill an angel. His skills dealt 100% increased damage to angels. The sky shattered completely, and a holy figure appeared. Everyone thought a massive swarm of monsters would follow. If there was only one god, they thought they could survive easily. Everyone breathed a sigh of relief. The Divine Retribution Agent moved forward, slowly, then raised his angelic staff and tapped the ground. Under everyone's gaze, a pale purple light spread in all directions. The blinding glow forced everyone to close their eyes. Soon, the entire town was surrounded. The agent released the Divine Domain. Affected by the domain, all players' stats were reduced by 50%. Seeing this, no one could escape the town center. Black Lotus expressed regret. There were 300 people within the range of the Divine Domain. He had no way to save them. The agent raised his staff, and countless glowing swords flew toward the people. In the domain, the skill covered a 300-meter radius with no blind spots. while they struggled to defend themselves. Black Lotus outside the domain was also moving. When a hunter is focused on the prey, they completely forget their own back. When the last person in the domain fell, the field deactivated. Black Lotus had been waiting for this moment. He leapt up. The agent hadn't sensed any danger yet. Next, the mark of the Reaper appeared on the agent's head. Damage bonus, 120%. This strike landed perfectly. Black Lotus was blown back several meters by the divine aura. The moment he hit the ground, he didn't hesitate and kept running to the side. That attack had drained 40% of the agent's health, and it had also destroyed one of his eyes. He must be thinking of using the domain to trap my movements. But the moment the divine domain descended, Black Lotus was long gone. Instead, Black Lotus exploited the window when the domain was cancelled. With an explosion of speed, he was in front of the agent in the blink of an eye. His goal wasn't to launch a heavy attack, but to take out the agent's other eye. Just as he landed, a notification for the divine domain sounded, and his stats dropped. But Black Lotus didn't show any panic. He knew the agent was now blind and could only fire the glowing swords blindly in all directions. All I have to do is stand in the original blind spot, and I don't have to worry about him sensing me. Because he's completely helpless. Now it's hunting time. This strike must finish him off once and for all. Black Lotus was currently at his rear, launching a sneak attack. With a lightning-fast swing of the Reaper Scythe, he aimed to slowly wear down the divine power. The agent felt the pain is back. His staff, imbued with holy power, swung backward. Every move the agent made was anticipated by Black Lotus. He delivered another strike mid-air. The only wings the angel could use to sense enemies were now all cut off. Then, without hesitation, he bolted backward. While retreating, he checked the agent's health, which had dropped to 10%. The divine retribution. Agent was trembling uncontrollably. How dare a mere human strike me? Next, he gripped the staff. Agent muttered a chant, and his staff erupted with endless brilliance. Black Lotus felt immensely relieved that he had already cut off the agent's eyes and wings. Deprived of his senses, the divine retribution agent could only swing his staff blindly. The space within the arena was completely locked down, subjected to a full coverage dimensional attack. Black Lotus watched the divine retribution lightning striking the ground. Even a single hit would mean certain death. The staff continued to summon lightning. Noticing the swirling currents at the agent's feet, he knew it was the activation of radiant power, 30 seconds of invincibility. Staring at the agent, Black Lotus precisely calculated the remaining duration. The moment the timer hit 0, a notification appeared, bringing a smirk to his face. The invincibility had ended. Seizing the opportunity, he charged at the agent with explosive speed. Only he knew that once the agent's skills finished, there would be a 3-second window of vulnerability. Crimson Reaper energy enveloped his scythe. With a sharp whistle through the air, he severed the divine retribution agent's head. Level up notifications flooded his ears, followed by a momentous announcement echoing across the world. The agent of God has been slain. He had earned the title God's adversary, which reduced the damage taken from holy attacks by 80%, but the real reason he killed the agent was for the divine heart. It could massively empower his Reaper energy. Furthermore, he needed to kill him for an item only a god possesses, a divinity shard. It was a synthesis material for god-tier items. The divine heart acted as a radiant rune, vastly boosting his Reaper powers. This haul was even more incredible than expected. The surviving players erupted in cheers. They were in utter disbelief that Black Lotus had soloed a god. His overwhelming power filled them with awe and fear. Just then, an angel's voice boomed from the sky. Are you truly human? This is the first time a mortal has slain a divine enforcer. Black Lotus didn't pay much attention to the angel. The angel awkwardly flew down and asked, how did you even think to kill the agent? Black Lotus sighed at the stupid question and replied, I just didn't want to be killed by him. The angel noted, with your skills, you could have easily hidden for 30 minutes. His smile turned more sedated. If I'm cold-blooded, the bodies of those who didn't make the cut and sandal watching him wandered humans in front of me. The angel seemed to finally understand. The surrounding players were stunned. They hadn't expected the seemingly cold Black Lotus to be so noble. The angel then announced the mission's completion, but the next word sent a chill through the crowd. Because the agent was killed, the player count hadn't reached the specified limit yet. We will begin the purge based on overall rankings. Immediately, the leaderboard appeared. Unsurprisingly, Black Lotus was still number 1. He received his exclusive first place reward. He could choose 1 ring. He chose the resistance ring without hesitation, no matter how high his stats were. Getting chain stunned by status effects would be his downfall. Looking at the reward window, as expected, there was no triple XP bonus. He needed more gold to buy skills. The angel's grim voice rang out. You all know your ranks now, right? Everyone, below rank 1225 will be erased. Panic ensued as everyone tried to flee. The angel seemed to enjoy this moment of execution. Then, a crisp notification sounded. The number of survivors reached 1,220. Everything went black as everyone slowly regained consciousness. Their minds drifted back to reality. Back in the real world, Sue Allen suddenly jolted awake. He felt incredibly lucky to have survived. In the third round, he obtained a hidden class, Summoner. Looking at the summoned beast appearing before him, Allen was overjoyed. If not for this little guy, I would have died in the third round. Checking the rewards in his bag, he couldn't believe he ranked third. If I give these rewards to Black Lotus, would he like them? Meanwhile, Huan Yoming was absolutely furious. Black Lotus had used him and even caused his attributes to drop by 50%. Huan Yoming swore to himself that he would kill Black Lotus. The next morning, and Xianja arrived early at the skyscraper to report on the situation. Ma Tianlu, Black Lotus is still the top-ranked player in this round. I am here to report on Black Lotus and also mention that Sue Allen has successfully changed classes. His class is very unique. It is a summoner. I never expected him to actually become a summoner. Hearing this, Ma Tianlu felt relieved. It seemed Allen would be very useful in the future. He then said, "You must stay close to Sue Allen. Even if you have to date him, it is fine. I need your help to keep a firm grip on him." And Xianja didn't know Ma Tianlu's true intentions, but still stated, "We will always be loyal to you." There is also another urgent matter to report regarding Black Lotus. He killed the Divine Retribution agent alone. It is as if he knows exactly how to kill them. Ma Tianlu fell into thought. Continue to observe this mysterious man and try your best to win him over. I have already tried getting close. The Black Lotus is too powerful and doesn't need anyone's help. Ma Tianlu went silent for a moment. He then said, "For now, don't offend him. On another note, you said there was one more thing. What is it?" A few days ago, a mysterious person bought a massive amount of the group stock. The amount is so large that they can now influence company decisions. Ma Tianlu didn't understand. This was just a newly formed virtual world company. All the young people in the world had entered the angel game. Originally, he wanted to use this chance to make some quick cash, but he never expected someone to actually invest over 200 billion. Ma Tianlu then said, "Arrange a call with this investor." Ma Tianlu was very curious about what kind of person would spend that much money to invest. Meanwhile, Black Lotus looked at his phone and muttered, "I should be getting a call soon." Just then, his younger brother suddenly ran into the room. His bro shouted, asking what level Black Lotus was in the angel game. It turned out classmates' older brother at school had reached level 11 and even changed classes. He was mocking the younger brother. Black Lotus thought that telling the truth would cause a lot of trouble. He then spoke up, "Don't worry, I've reached level 12 and successfully changed classes too." Hearing this, his brother thought that his own brother was indeed stronger, but no matter how much he asked, Black Lotus refused to say what his class was. His brother had no choice but to leave. Right then, the phone rang. Just as I expected, the call is finally here. As a shareholder of our group, I thought I should reach out to say hello. If possible, I'd like to meet you in person. Black Lotus checked his phone. Next Saturday, we will meet. The reason Black Lotus chose Saturday was because, on Friday, he would obtain the mind-reading rune. That way, he could know exactly what Ma Tianlu was thinking. Right now, what I need to do is finish the prerequisites for the rune. After being reborn, the first thing this man did was go to a rundown warehouse because he knew this would be his big chance to get the rune. Runes are vital in the angel game. Everyone knows they can be obtained in specific game rounds or dropped by bosses. Even common monsters have a tiny chance of dropping them. But no one knows that runes can still be obtained in the real world. In his past life, his brother was kidnapped because a man wanted to get every piece of info he knew, but Black Lotus didn't understand the meaning behind those words. It turned out the man had the mind-reading rune. He knew Black Lotus was a so-called returner. He needed to get all the information Black Lotus had about the angel game. Black Lotus was stunned by this. In the end, he had to be reborn dozens of times to successfully save his brother and find out how to get the rune during that time. This time, he would get the rune before that man. Just then, Black Lotus's expression tightened as he saw the man slowly walking toward the warehouse. He then threw the woman he had captured onto the ground. The woman was so terrified she couldn't move. She didn't understand how she had offended him, but all she could do now was beg for mercy. But the man had no intention of letting her go. He told her, "This is what happens when you look down on me. You're going to pay for it." It turned out the man had obtained a flash rune in the angel game. He used its power to target young women. He would use the flash rune to temporarily blind them, and he would carry out his disgusting acts. One day, a man went to a coffee shop. Looking at the clerk, a creepy smile crossed his face. He then claimed to be a regular at the shop and said it was his first time seeing her. The woman said she had just started working there. All the young people before her had quit because of the angel game. No one wanted to keep working when they could die at any moment. The man liked her more and more as he looked at her, so he offered to take her to a bar to have some fun. The woman was shocked and looked uncomfortable. It was that very look that completely enraged the man. He thought she was looking down on him. He vowed to make anyone who slighted him pay. He kidnapped her on her way home from work. I hate that look in your eyes. It's full of disgust. He then pinned her down. Just as he was about to make his move, Black Lotus appeared nearby. Black Lotus spoke slowly. Take one more step and you're dead. The man was startled by the sudden voice. He was about to snap back, but when he saw Black Lotus, he froze. A Black Lotus? This must be some Black Lotus fanboy. Are you using a prop to mimic Black Lotus? You're calling this a prop? With a casual swing, a powerful aura surged. You're a player? Really, or Black Lotus? Black Lotus didn't answer and simply said, you can leave now. The man naturally didn't want to let the woman go so easily. Seeing this, Black Lotus instantly vanished and charged at him with extreme speed. But this strike didn't use the blade. Instead, he hit him with the blunt end of the scythe. The man was caught completely off guard. Aren't you leaving? Snapping out of it, the woman didn't want to stay another second. Now it is just the two of us. I have a score to settle with you. The man's reaction was quick. He pulled out a dagger and lunged at Black Lotus. But in Black Lotus's eyes, his speed was pathetic. Looking at the dagger in his hand, you actually managed to bring out a goblin blade. But you're still too slow. He gave the scythe a simple upward flick. The man couldn't believe he was as weak as a baby against Black Lotus. Do you hate me? This is only the beginning. He then stared at Black Lotus with pure malice. The man was stunned to see that Black Lotus was just an afterimage. While he was searching for him, a rabbit kick landed. Now, the man's face was filled with terror. At this rate, I'm going to die. At his hands, I have to use the flash rune. If I can just hit him with my skill, I might have a chance to escape. A brilliant light was about to erupt. But a moment later, the flash rune simply failed. Now the man truly panicked. He lost his only trump card. Why is this happening? Are you surprised? Why your rune won't work? Before coming in, I activated the Dead of Night skill in this warehouse. No light is allowed within the range of this skill. Then, without hesitation, Black Lotus struck. Watching Black Lotus approach, the man's body couldn't react at all. Do you want to know why I'm killing you? To him, Black Lotus was now a demon. He desperately wanted to know why, but Black Lotus obviously didn't want to tell him so easily. He raised the scythe and began to torture him. All of this was a prerequisite to obtain the rune. Little did he know, in the man's eyes, Black Lotus was just enjoying the slaughter like a total monster. Soon, the man collapsed on the ground, screaming in agony. Why are you doing this to me? What did I do wrong? Just let me die? I can't take it anymore. Let me just end it. Black Lotus replied, I can't let you off that easy. He showed no signs of stopping. By now, the man had given up. He just wanted to die immediately. Black Lotus, I beg you kill me. You still don't know why I'm doing this to you, right? Actually, we are complete strangers right now. But we've already met. John Xin, you know us, are you? Here for that woman earlier? It has nothing to do with her. It's just that you once kidnapped my brother and even threatened me to hand over everything about the angel game. Of course, that was the future you. The main reason I'm here is for the rune inside you. This warehouse hides a rare rune. The condition for it to appear is to hear someone's truest thoughts. It must be the most sincere and honest inner thought. Your desperate plea for death is your truest thought right now. Then again, even without the rune, I would have killed you anyway. You are already guilty of over 20 crimes. Since I'm such a piece of trash then, just hurry up and kill me. I don't want to suffer anymore. But Black Lotus wasn't ready to kill him yet. The man didn't understand. It's because I want to run an experiment. He hasn't gotten the rune yet. Doesn't he want to hear my honest words? Why won't he let me speak? Black Lotus stated that he had already obtained a rune the moment the man sincerely begged for death. The rune reacted to your honest plea, so I've already got it. It has automatically activated. Anyone within 30 meters will have their mind read, just as he thought. All the man wanted now was to die. A short while later, the man died from blood loss. Black Lotus then used an erase skill to wipe away all the blood and traces. Nearby, now that he had the rune he wanted, it was time to see Ma Tianlu tomorrow. Black Lotus got ready for the meeting. His brother saw this and looked surprised. Are you going on a date? Black Lotus checked the time. Today is just a very important meeting. It will determine the course of the future. Seeing his brother's worried face, he comforted him. Remember, I'm a player. Right now, hardly anyone in the world can hurt me. His brother's worry wasn't unfounded. Ever since players started returning from the angel game, more and more gifted individuals began to appear. His brother was very worried that he would get hurt. Black Lotus remained calm. He already knew how this would go. As the game concludes, the surviving players will only get stronger. Naturally, superhumans will appear and start enslaving ordinary people. What Black Lotus had to do was gain extraordinary fame and immense power before the world fell into panic. He needed power great enough to make other superhumans submit. Soon, he arrived in front of the wall building. He knew this building was Ma Tianlu's secret base. Currently, besides me, only Ma Tianlu's relatives should know this secret. Black Lotus had to act naive. He wanted to completely deceive him. He walked toward the service desk. The CEO specifically left instructions. You can wait here. He'll be here shortly. He then acted shy while thanking the staff, even looking around like someone who had never seen the world. This was all a cover. Watching from the side, Ma Tianlu saw him. Then Xianzhe approached Black Lotus and expressed disbelief. You look like you're only in your early 20s. I didn't expect the person investing 280 billion to be so young. Black Lotus knew Ma Tianlu sent him to test him by acting like a rookie. Black Lotus cleared Xianzhe's suspicions. He then reported back to Ma Tianlu, stating it was exactly the result Black Lotus wanted. The mind-reading rune told him exactly what they were thinking. Right then, Ma Tianlu arrived in front of Black Lotus and expressed how delighted he was to meet him. Black Lotus, meanwhile, acted completely overwhelmed and flustered. Ma Tianlu apologized for keeping him waiting, mentioning he had a 6-star chef prepare a massive feast as an apology. We can talk while we eat. Seeing this, Black Lotus didn't hold back, feasting like a starving ghost. Ma Tianlu thought, he's too young to be the real investor, who is supporting him from the shadows. No matter who it is, I'll find a way to find out. Then, Ma Tianlu spoke up. You look remarkably young, perhaps only about 20. What made you decide to invest so much in our company? You must be a very successful young rich second generation. Black Lotus quickly denied it. I was just a student before this. If you check the news, you'll see I just got lucky and won the lottery. He explained he was just a student who won 15 super jackpots overnight to become a billionaire. And because of that, he now has immense faith in his own luck. But Ma Tianlu still couldn't believe it. He'd seen in the news that the prize was 60 billion, so how were you able to make an investment totaling 280 billion? Black Lotus knew Ma Tianlu would ask this, stating he had also made other contacts, which allowed him to secure such a vast amount of capital. It's truly unbelievable. If it were me, I certainly wouldn't have the courage to put 60 billion on the line. And Xianzhe added, you must be an incredibly lucky person. Suddenly, Black Lotus became very solemn. This wasn't the result of mere luck. I am a prophet. I can see what will happen 3 days into the future. Ma Tianlu was skeptical upon hearing this. The identity of a prophet was far too shocking. Facing Ma Tianlu's doubt, Black Lotus said, I have no reason to lie to you, because I possess the power to see the future. I was able to acquire such funds, although I really want to believe you. Can I ask you to prove your prophecy? What actions will I take in the future? Black Lotus turned down Ma Tianlu's request, explaining that this rune isn't something he can control it well, because it's passively activated. Ma Tianlu wasn't surprised by a rune this powerful would surely have strict conditions for its use. Suddenly, the once composed Ma Tianlu grew tense. Did you invest in our company because of something you saw in the future? Black Lotus gave a definitive yes, stating that Tianma Company will grow extremely fast, becoming the largest company in the country within 6 months, and also the most popular hub for domestic players. Hearing this, Ma Tianlu felt a pang of guilt, because everything he was doing was merely to gain his father's approval. Black Lotus's next words made Ma Tianlu freeze. To be even more successful, must change the company's current direction. And Xianzhe immediately stood up. Are you serious? You want to change our business model? I'm not just talking about the business model. Even the company's name needs to be changed. Both of you are players. You know that leaking your rune details carries heavy penalties. Since I'm risking that to tell you about my rune, it's not just to have a simple meal with you. As your business partner, I must now participate in the company's management. Ma Tianlu fell in thought. On Xianzhe completely disagreed Black Lotus's decision. Seeing this, Black Lotus said sternly, if I weren't certain, why would I invest in your company? Besides, you still have doubts about whether I actually have a future rune, right? Then do you know why I moved into the room right below yours? And Xianzhe looked startled. You mean you started preparing even back then? Ma Tianlu was confused, so Xianzhe explained. It turns out Black Lotus had moved in downstairs months ago. Once Ma Tianlu learned this, he was convinced that Black Lotus had begun his layout months in advance. This man definitely knows the future path. Looking at Ma Tianlu's expression, Black Lotus knew he was believed. But I need his unconditional trust, and this alone isn't enough. Black Lotus spoke slowly. This hotel is your hidden base. You are the eldest son of a 5-star family, and you founded this company only to gain your father's approval. Before Ma Tianlu could even respond, and Xian just shouted out, "Just who are you?" "This information is a top secret." Ma Tianlu looked at Black Lotus without saying a word. "To be honest, I'm starting to suspect you now, because that isn't a secret. Within my family, I suspect you were sent by my brothers. I have no way to prove you aren't with them, so I can't agree to your proposal. I'm sorry, I can't commit to something I'm not sure of." Black Lotus had to give Ma Tianlu support, so he resorted to his final trump card. "If you doubt my identity, then I can tell you the information for the 4th round of the Angel game." Hearing this, Ma Tianlu instantly, "You really know about the 4th round? Of course, this should be enough to prove my identity." A short while later, Black Lotus left the building. This time, they should believe in my identity completely. It's here. The 4th round of the Angel game has finally begun. But to everyone's absolute shock, the 4th round is actually a battle royale between players. Only the top 521 ranked players can survive. However, the rules for the ranking became an unsolvable mystery. Just now, Sue Alling found Black Lotus. This purple crystal was her reward from the 3rd round. "To thank you for your help." Black Lotus took it without hesitation. Black Lotus couldn't help but think that if she knew the value of this stone, she probably wouldn't have given it away. Then Sue Alling asked again if Black Lotus needed a protection team, since she had changed jobs to become a summoner. Black Lotus declined her kindness. "Because right now, anyone capable of opposing me simply doesn't exist." After Sue Alling bid farewell to him, Black Lotus turned his attention to Huan Rome, because only Black Lotus understood that this round's hidden task revolved around regional reps. At that moment, Huan Yoming was also looking around and approached Black Lotus without hesitation, asking if he still remembered the agreement from the previous round, the promise that Black Lotus would protect him. Black Lotus, however, asked, "What value do you have now?" "Of my protection? I can ensure other players don't target you, but in exchange, you must offer something of value." Black Lotus noted that Sue Alling had gifted him a purple gemstone as a token of her gratitude. "If you have a similar stone, then I can provide you with protection for this round." Hearing this, Huan Yoming quickly opened his bag. He said he didn't have a purple stone, but he did have a black one. He asked if this item could earn him asylum for the new round. Black Lotus gave an affirmative answer, stating that anyone who attacked him would be their enemy. Right then, the angel descended once more, her face wearing an excited expression as she announced, "The rules for this game. The rules for this game are very simple. Players will slaughter one another. Only the top 521 ranked players can survive. In other words, this round has no restrictions. Everyone just needs to kill each other." The crowd fell into terror. It seemed as though everyone around them would now become an enemy. The angel maliciously emphasized that only the top 521 would live. Only Black Lotus knew the difference between 521 people and rank 521, and only he understood that the angel was merely a puppet being controlled. The next moment, the angel announced the start of the game. Most players were still dazed. "Is the slaughter really starting already?" Beside him, Huan Yoming wore a smoke smile. He was relieved that he had sought Black Lotus's protection, because with his current abilities, he had no way to protect himself in this battle. Suddenly, Black Lotus moved to Huan Yoming's side. Huan Yoming was startled by the sudden move. He didn't understand why Black Lotus was approaching him now. Black Lotus spoke. "I said I would prevent you from becoming a target for others, right? I always keep my promises." He then summoned the Lotus of the Death God. In an instant, Huan Yoming was killed. Simultaneously, a notification rang out. Hidden task triggered. Kill the regional leader to earn a draw from magic stones. Task complete. Item obtained. Magic card. Randomly draw 1 to 5 magic stones. Looking at the notifications, these were exactly what he needed most. However, Black Lotus's act of killing Huan Yoming caused the onlookers to denounce him as a murderer. Yet, a final prompt silenced the crowd. Black Lotus had become the new regional leader. Those who were just denouncing him now wanted to disappear. They were terrified that Black Lotus would use his absolute dominance. Suddenly, the crowd noticed that Black Lotus's name had turned red. Black Lotus didn't panic. In this slaughter phase, the more kills you had, the darker your name became. Everyone looked at Black Lotus and finally resolved to team up and kill him. In their eyes, Black Lotus was just a killer. Suddenly, the dead Huan Yoming abruptly came back to life. No one could understand what was happening. Suddenly, it dawned on the crowd. It seemed that players who died in this round could respawn, and our ranking is determined by the number of kills we secured. The next moment, the previously peaceful crowd began to slaughter each other. Seeing this, Black Lotus no longer hesitated. With a casual strike, he instantly cleared a massive void around him. The others exchanged looks. Since they could respawn, they could ambush Black Lotus without hesitation. Soon, the number of people in the area had plummeted by 70 to 80%. In just a short while, Black Lotus had killed thousands. Right then, one player caught Black Lotus's attention. He was a man known as the Fire Dragon Dancer. He possessed an absorption rune. With every enemy killed, his own attributes would increase. This game was practically tailor-made for him. Because of the absorption rune, the man's attributes were surging. The higher the level of the player killed, the greater the attribute. Bonus, the man began to fantasize. If he killed Black Lotus, he would surely gain a massive amount of attributes. However, he quickly dismissed the idea, because his intuition told him never to provoke Black Lotus. The man then continued his relentless slaughter of players. Black Lotus didn't act immediately, but instead stood there watching, coldly. Before long, the man had killed nearly 100 players. Everyone was falling into despair, but at that moment, Black Lotus began walking slowly toward the man. The man was on high alert, but Black Lotus simply. It was simple. Just one strike. In just a split second, that man never even dreamed he would be completely crushed by you. Facing a massive brawl of thousands, Black Lotus took them on alone, killing thousands to dominantly take the top spot in the regional rankings just as the fourth round of the player war began. As battles erupted everywhere, Su Aling felt conflicted about this mutual slaughter, and Xianzhe comforted Su Aling, saying he was fine. He understood that for someone with a celebrity status, such a massacre mission is hard to handle. Suddenly, and Xianzhe's expression tightened, someone grabbed Su Aling's dagger and forced it downward. And Xianzhe reacted with incredible speed to engage the fight. He then raised his long sword to completely neutralize the opponent. Looking at Su Aling, and Xianzhe stated that to survive, she must be willing to kill. Su Aling knew she had to overcome this hurdle. After a brief internal struggle, she gritted her teeth and finished the man off. If not for Ma Tianlu's orders, Xianzhe would have abandoned Su Aling without hesitation. He told her that her previous summons should have helped her kill over 50 people, so she could take a short break. Deep down, and Xianzhe looked down on Su Aling. He treated her like a fragile flower. Sensing his own score might not be enough, he charged toward the crowd. At high speed, as Black Lotus cut down the enemy in front of him, the countdown alert rang out. Yet Black Lotus showed no signs of stopping. He even searched around for different enemies to take out. Black Lotus clearly understood the ranking rules. The rankings were based on the number of unique individuals killed, not the total kill count. It is like if a player kills the same opponent 100 times, the system would only count it as one kill. So, instead of mindless slaughter, Black Lotus focused on finding people he had not killed yet. Meanwhile, Huang Yoming was repeatedly killing players weaker than himself. He tallied up his kills, reaching several hundred times. He was certain he would secure a top rank this time. By his own count, his kill numbers were even higher than Black Lotus's, but Black Lotus was surrounded by a dark aura. As his Scythe delivered the final blow, the game over notification sounded to ensure scoring accuracy. Angelic shields enveloped everyone. Black Lotus's fatigue vanished instantly, while the angel nearby announced it was time to review their combat data. The next moment, everyone who had died was instantly resurrected. One man looked at his revived self and screamed in rage at Huang Yoming. During the game, this man had died over 40 times at Huang Yoming's hands. Huang Yoming smugly mocked him. The angel speaking felt its authority was being disrespected. If you keep making this noise, I will erase all of you right now. Hearing this, everyone fell silent. Before the rankings, the angel revealed the hidden mission for this round. It was to kill the regional representative within a time limit. Everyone looked at the mission in shock. Was the mission really that simple? Black Lotus seemed to have killed the regional representative first. Did he have some kind of tip-off? Huang Yoming finally realized what was happening. As people whispered, his skill bar showed that the regional representative skills had vanished. He recalled Black Lotus saying he had to stop him from becoming a target for others. It turned out Black Lotus had targeted him all along. While everyone was stunned, the angel announced the ranking rules. The moment they heard them, many players fell into despair. The angel didn't care how hopeless they felt. With a snap of fingers, Black Lotus was named number 1 in the overall. Even the angel felt a massive sense of disbelief. Why did he always manage to get first place in these games? Even the crowd began to look at Black Lotus with growing fear. But the first thing Black Lotus wanted to do was claim his mission rewards. The angel was curious, as Black Lotus acted like he already knew exactly where he would rank. Black Lotus ignored the angel and focused on choosing his rewards. For him, deer that could increase 3 types of attack speed was a priority, but the next choice was the most critical decision, because the hidden mission for the next round was extremely difficult. He had to be 100% prepared. Looking at the reward window, Black Lotus unhesitatingly chose the 50% attribute boost. Seeing that Black Lotus was ignoring it, the angel went ahead and announced the general rankings. Everyone ranked below 521 was to be eliminated. The next moment, those lower ranked players began to disintegrate. Countless screams echoed through the sky. Wang Ruiying looked around the crowd in a panic, then let out a manic laugh. Because his rank was exactly 521, the cries and wails were everywhere. Even Black Lotus couldn't save these people. He silently vowed that he would destroy this angel game and save the future of humanity. The final alert. stated only 521 survivors remained in the region. As their souls returned to their bodies, the scene shifted back to reality, and Xianzhou rushed to ManhWa's room. ManhWa, I summoned you. And Xianzhou apologized for his intrusion, saying, the fourth round of the game was just too difficult, even if it was just a game. Its insanity was soul-crushing. Ma Tianlu also understood how exhausting this game was. Even as a dark knight, he felt drained. Ma Tianlu's main concern was what kind of person Black Lotus really was. Despite knowing the game's content beforehand, his kill count couldn't keep up with Black Lotus. A person like that definitely cannot be an enemy. Ma Tianlu decided he needed to consult him about the Black Lotus issue. Before, when he told me about the fourth round's content, I couldn't believe it. But facts have proven that everything happened exactly as he predicted. Arrange another meeting with him for me. He is young, but don't you dare underestimate him because of his age. And Xianzhou understood perfectly that such a profit was vital. Scene change. Black Lotus was already waiting at the supermarket entrance. Julie was shocked, because even after such an intense battle, Black Lotus's spirit still seemed full of energy. Black Lotus even remarked that mentally, he was quite exhausted because he had been thinking of her in his dreams. Julie clearly didn't expect Black Lotus to be so playful. He seemed different from the boy she first met. She didn't speak up, expressing her gratitude. Thanks to the info Black Lotus provided, she managed to make it through the fourth round unscathed. But Black Lotus knew that even without his help, she would have survived that round anyway. Later, the two went to a 5-star restaurant, but Julie clearly had no appetite. Scenes from the fourth round haunted her. It was her first time taking a life, and she was still visibly shaking. Black Lotus told her it was all for survival. Julie understood logically, but her heart just couldn't move past it. Black Lotus snapped at her for being too soft. Are you going to give up on yourself and leave your family in pain? Think about it. Can your father handle losing you? Julie knew that if she died, her father would lose his will to live. Thank you. I will fight to live on. For those I love and those who love me, the two that enjoyed a relaxed afternoon tea. After a while, Black Lotus spoke up. I met you today to give you the details on the fifth round. Julie was stunned. You can already predict the fifth round. Black Lotus stated that the fifth round would be harder than anything before. And there will be a regional merger. All the split regions will be brought together. Julie was excited, because it meant she could finally meet Black Lotus within the game. We will meet next round, more accurately, during the fifth stage. The next round is brutal, so you must follow my lead to win. In the next game, you need to find a man named Black Lotus. He is my friend, and he will help you make it through the next round safely. Julie learned from Black Lotus that the fifth round would be incredibly tough, even for her, even with her skills. Surviving the fifth round would be a challenge. Julie was shocked by this news, but Black Lotus told her not to worry. In the future, he foresaw his friend Black Lotus would help her. Julie was skeptical. In her eyes, Black Lotus was a mysterious and powerful figure who had always dominated the top of the rankings. She whispered to herself, would someone that powerful really need me? Black Lotus reassured her, saying your blessing ability is something he will be desperate to cooperate with. Then, Julie stroked Black Lotus's palm. Streams of green aura flowed into his hand, boosting his luck to the absolute maximum. The scene. Magic card. Most people would think this card could only grant low-grade mana stones, but only. Black Lotus knew that when luck is maxed out, there is a tiny chance to get top-tier mana stones. He crushed the card in his hand. Following a notification sound, 5 god-tier mana stones appeared before his eyes. Even for Black Lotus, this was a first. He was completely stunned, muttering to himself, is this the luck of my 100th reincarnation? He then opened the crafting page to fuse the god-tier stones into sanct-tier. In his past life, even with a full set of god-tier stones, he still failed. This time, he would reach the absolute peak. He then socketed the stones into his gear. Once all the gear was fully socketed, Black Lotus was satisfied. His power had increased by over 50%. The next morning, Black Lotus received an invitation to Ma Tianlu's banquet. He was already prepared, as he was about to head out, and Xianzhou was already at the door, waiting for quite a while. Shortly after, they arrived at Ma Tianlu's private hotel. Ma Tianlu greeted Black Lotus. Let's head inside so we can have a proper chat. Just then, Su Allen walked over. It turned out Ma Tianlu wanted to use her to win over Black Lotus. Even as a prophet, he was still a man. But, once they sat down at the table, the atmosphere turned dead silent. This was something Ma Tianlu never expected, nor did he expect Su Allen to be so socially oblivious. Su Allen, come outside. I need a word with you. Su Allen followed quietly behind him. It stopped after a moment. Su Allen happily remarked that the food was delicious, but, to Ma Tianlu's ears, those words were bitter. He was fuming inside. Do you think I brought you here just to eat? I need you to liven up the mood, understand? Do you have no social awareness at all? Or Are you doing this on purpose? Didn't Xiangxia tell you who he is? This man is a prophet. He knows everything about the angel game. I need you to step up. Even if you have to sacrifice everything, you must grab his attention. I want this prophet under my control. That's how I'll become the strongest. You need to make him fall for you and work for me. Don't even think about refusing. You can never pay off your debt in this lifetime. Your only job now is to win his heart. I'm looking forward to your performance. Got it. Ma Tianlu finished his talk with Su Aling, and the final deal was that she had to make Black Lotus fall for her. As Black Lotus finished the meal and prepared to leave, Ma Tianlu signaled Su Aling to stop them. Right then, Black Lotus's brother spoke up. I'm a huge fan of yours, Ms. Su. He asked her for a photo together. Meanwhile, Ma Tianlu pulled out his phone to give Su Aling new orders, but the message made her face pale. It seemed the brother was an easier target. If she could win over the brother, Ma Tianlu believed Black Lotus would eventually follow suit. To help Su Aling win over Black Lotus faster, he led them to the hotel's most exclusive suite. He told them they could sing and hang out freely, and all the drinks and fruit were on the house. He even mentioned that if they had any other special requests, and Xiangxia could arrange it. Black Lotus expressed his thanks and said he actually did have one request. His brother is a fan of Su Aling, so he hoped they could go out and take a photo together. Soon, the two walked out, watching them leave. Black Lotus finally muttered under his breath, "Do you really think I'm an idiot?" Ma Tianlu's face immediately turned stiff. Had his little scheme been exposed already? You better not play games with me. Don't forget that I'm a prophet. Don't even think about using my brother. And I don't permit any secrets. Ma Tianlu's expression was conflicted. He felt completely exposed before this man. He quickly explained to Black Lotus that he only wanted to secure his help. I can help you, but I will never allow what happened today to occur again. It shouldn't have been this way. It will never happen again. Now, I will discuss the 5th round with you. Ma Tianlu knew the game info was top secret, so he had Xiangxia lead the others to a separate room. I will share all future intel, but in exchange, regarding company decisions, you must trust me completely. I will help this company become the world's top player guild in record time, and even make you the strongest player on Earth, but only if the company obeys every decision I make. Ma Tianlu naturally accepted. For him, there was no way to lose. But Black Lotus's next words terrified him. If not for my help, you would die in the 5th round. Its difficulty is unlike anything before. As long as you follow my lead, surviving as a dark knight won't be hard. The angel's mission will be to kill 300 orcs. Most importantly, the regions will merge in round 5. Hearing this, Ma Tianlu looked delighted. That meant he could finally meet Black Scythe. But Black Lotus shook his head. Though regions are merging, you won't be merged with Black Scythe. Ma Tianlu was disappointed and asked if he knew who Black Scythe was. I don't know his true identity, but the prophecy says you will meet soon. Suddenly, Black Lotus changed the subject. Are you tracking a man? Ma Tianlu was shocked that he even knew about the search for Huang Yoming, since he tried to murder Xiangxia and Su Aling. I have been hunting him down. Black Lotus told him to stop the search. Ma Tianlu looked confused. Black Lotus didn't explain why, but only said that continuing would lead to trouble. Ma Tianlu thought it over. Black Lotus's words always commanded unconditional trust. Keeping Huang Yoming around has a purpose. He will be very useful in the later rounds. Their conversation lasted for hours. Knowing the 5th round would be brutal, I need to restore my darkness quickly. The scene shifted to a man running for his life on a rainy night. While Ma Tianlu watched him intently, the man begged Ma Tianlu, saying he had already paid for his mistakes. Why are you hounding me, Ma? Tianlu's expression remained cold. He raised the Dark Knight's longsword. Dark mana swirled around him, and even the blade in his hand glowed with an eerie light. It turned out Ma Tianlu needed to kill criminals regularly to replenish his dark mana. The sins they committed were the best source for dark energy. Meanwhile, Black Lotus was staring at his phone as news reports flooded in. The world had begun to change since the players appeared. The Angel game caused a massive drop in population and significant social unrest. Players with new powers committed crimes indiscriminately, even. That means this guy impersonated me to commit murder and get the clone rune. With the logging done, there is one last step you must complete yourself. The man grinned maliciously. Kill one person, and you're in. Forming anti-government alliances online. Black Lotus's first move was to join an alliance interview. Only then could he obtain a new rune. Just then, a chubby man pushed open the door. He looked around nervously. This must be the interview site. Another man stood up. Are you here for the player interview too? When the fat man confirmed, he asked for his in-game name. The man said his name was Black Fire Dragon. The interviewer noted a young guy was also here. He looked so weak. Is that scrawny kid really a player? The fat man wanted to kill them both. To boost his own power, his was an absorption rune. Killing enough targets granted random stats. This was why he went on a killing spree in round 4. His first act back in reality was to kill all his classmates. However, their levels were too low, and the stat gains were pathetic. He eventually found the alliance. By hunting other players there, he would become invincible. Are we the only two here? Can we start? The man replied. We are still waiting on one more. Soon after, a man in a black suit appeared. Are you here for the player interview? What is your username? The interviewer looked positively fanatical. You are Black Scythe. He groveled instantly. The fat man froze. This was Black Scythe, the man who killed him 5 times in the 4th round. I am Black Scythe. Nice to meet you. I'm Little Chick. The fat man stammered his name, wanting to disappear, but he noticed. Black Scythe didn't react, as if he didn't recognize him at all. Did killing me 5 times not even make me worthy of being remembered? I wasn't being arrogant, I was a fake. But this guy is the real fraud. His real username is Olio. He runs scams for money. Right now he is weak, but in the future, he gets the clone rune for his crimes. My plan was to meet him here so I could take the clone rune that belonged to him. Since you're all here, I need your details. I'm Jin Shinqian, age 20, unemployed. You are a level 13 assassin. Black Lotus told him, only the truth, except for the username Little Chick. He was masquerading as someone else. This was because the clone rune requires secrecy and a kill at the site where the rune is hidden. Black Lotus feigned confusion. Why do this? You've all seen the news. The government is starting to fear us. They fear our power. We players will soon rule this world. We must show them the truth. Players are the masters. Players are above the law. Now you understand the reason. Of course, you can choose to leave now. But anyone who leaves will receive 0 help from us in the future. Black Lotus knew exactly what they were doing. By binding everyone through a crime, no player could easily quit the alliance. Since no one is leaving, let's start the final part of the interview. The man pretended he was leaving and called over the shop owner, asking her to bring his car around from the parking lot. When the car arrived at the entrance, the man grabbed the woman by the throat. She blacked out almost instantly. He led the group to a warehouse, the final interview site, and tossed her onto the floor. Who wants to go first? Black Scythe, your name is the most famous in every region. Will you start? Can I go first? The man turned toward the voice in surprise. Little Chick, you want to finish the task first? I thought you'd be terrified. I didn't expect you to volunteer. Black Lotus slowly walked past the man and whispered, I'll be taking that clone rune. The man didn't understand. He only felt a strange vibe. But in the next heartbeat, Black Lotus grabbed his head with both hands. He twisted the man's neck several times until the sound of shattering bone echoed. The sudden move sent a jolt of terror through the interviewer. The man couldn't believe his eyes. Why did you kill Black Scythe? Black Lotus's expression became deadly serious. Because you're in deep trouble now. The man froze. The aura radiating from Little Chick completely overwhelmed them both. A voice rang out from the void. Impersonation murder committed. Activation conditions met. Hidden rune detected. Icon location. Clone rune. Clone rune has been automatically integrated. The interviewer was still screaming. Why did you kill Black Scythe? Black Lotus calmly pulled out his mask. You ask why? Because he dared to impersonate me. What do you mean, impersonate your identity? Black Lotus didn't answer. He walked to the woman and picked up a nearby bag. He couldn't allow her to see actions when she woke up. What are you doing? You haven't. Answer my question. The man drew his blade. Black Lotus's presence was suffocating. Black Lotus pointed downward. I've waited long enough. Come. The earth-shattering Reaper's blade materialized instantly in his hand. What is that scythe? The aura it emitted was choking. No one had ever seen a player use a massive scythe as a primary weapon. Suddenly, the man remembered something and screamed in panic. The black scythe of ill omen, he recalled the claim of impersonation. Looking at Black Lotus, the man lost all with the fight. You are Black Scythe. You were never little chick. You're the real Black Scythe. His voice trembled with pure terror. He shuddered, begging for his life. But before he could finish, he felt his body go weightless. Black Lotus wasn't about to let this man go. If he spared him, more innocent people would die in the future. The massive scythe, the same weapon from the 4th round. He was the true Black Scythe. His aura was bone-chilling. I'm no match for him. I couldn't even see this swing. Now it's just the two of us. Fat man, you know what I want, right? I won't beg for mercy, but I have to ask, have we met before? You want to know why I killed you 5 times in the 4th round? Yes. I don't understand why you were hunting me. Simple. In the 4th round, you were the most skilled player there. I eliminate any threat. Player, I'm no longer a threat to you. So why? Why are you still trying to kill me? Because you're also a murderer. You came here intending to take part in murdering this woman. But I haven't even done anything yet. I'm just a bystander. As a bystander, I haven't committed crime. Black Lotus heard this and said, "Then I'll give you a chance to live. But on one condition, hand over all your gear and items to me." The next moment, various items and gems appeared. Black Lotus checked them over. They were worth about 2,000 gold coins. This is everything I have. I'm willing to give it all to you. Only the gems are of any use to me. I'll take the gems and return the rest. Per our deal, can you let me walk away alive? Of course, I won't make the first move against you. The chubby guy kept bowing, feeling lucky to survive. Next was cleaning up the scene. The guy wanted to help, but Black Lotus didn't want him doing anything. Watching Black Lotus leave, he felt he'd cheated death, but clearly I didn't do anything. Why treat me like a villain? Why did I have to give up the items I worked so hard for? Right now, Black Lotus is completely unguarded with his back to me. If I act in an instant, I can kill him. If I kill the Black Scythe, my stats will skyrocket. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. A long blade appeared in the man's hand. The next second, he leaned down and crept forward, whispering, "Just a bit closer, just a bit closer, and I'll have him." Suddenly, the axe swung toward the back of Black Lotus's head. The blow landed solidly. I killed the Black Scythe. I did it. Then he broke into a mad laugh. The Black Scythe died by my hand. Black Scythe, what's the point of being high level? You're just a total idiot. You still died by my hand. But wait. Why haven't I received the stat boost notification? Why? Unless the Black Scythe isn't dead. Black Lotus's voice echoed slowly. Why do you think? You didn't get the notification? The man spun around, unable to hide his sheer terror. Black Lotus stood behind him, completely unharmed. But I clearly hate you. How did you come back to life? The man stared at the body in front of him, in shock. The body on the ground faded away in a blue glow. You hit my clone. The clone rune created an exact duplicate of me. The clone rune can perfectly replicate oneself for 10 seconds. Although the clone has no combat power, it's still very useful in specific situations. Do you get it now? A lightning-fast attack pierced the man's body. Then, the body was burned away, leaving no trace. Everything's clean now. How much longer are you going to play dead? You can't fool me. I'm a player with telepathy. The woman claimed she saw nothing and knew nothing. Do you remember what we look like? The woman had only seen a man in his 40s. She couldn't remember anyone else. Black Lotus, using his rune, knew she wasn't lying. I'm leaving. Countdown 60 seconds before taking off the hood. When the countdown ended, the woman yanked off the hood. It was just a rundown warehouse. What on earth happened? After a long day, Black Lotus returned to his room. He finally got the clone rune, calculating the time. The 5th round of the Angel game should be starting. When the clock hit midnight, everyone was transported into the 5th round. The 5th round is finally starting, huh? This round is crucial. Only about 500 people are left from the last round. The numbers are dwindling. Right then, an angel descended from the sky. We meet again. Congrats on making it to round 5. There were over 500 left. So why are there only 400 now? It seems, even in the real world, you're still killing each other. The total player count is down to 443. With so few players left, the game isn't as fun anymore. However, I've prepared a surprise for this round. Please enjoy. Those with white wings aren't always angels. They might be agents of a devil. Facing the angel's charming smile, Black Lotus attacked without a word. He even tore off the angel's wings and ripped out its heart. All of this was to change his class to Agent of the Grim Reaper. That's the fastest way to get stronger. At the Agent of the Grim Reaper, Black Lotus had topped the rankings 4 times. Now at the 5th game, the angel spoke slowly. The 5th round will merge all regions. The surrounding players looked confused. What? Do you mean merge all regions? The angel replied with a sneer. Exactly what it sounds like. We're merging you with players from other regions. Just in your country's region, there are 985. Our country alone has that many? Adding other countries, the numbers are unimaginable. No need to be so shocked. Your country's count is small compared to others, so does every region have an angel? Is this game a joint effort by millions of angels? Facing the question, the angel just gave a slight smile. What do you think? I don't believe millions of angels would team up for a survival game. The words just left his mouth when the angel was instantly in front of him. This isn't a question you're allowed to ask. Digging into this will get you killed. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have asked such a stupid question. Lowly. Humans, you just need to follow the game and complete your tasks. In the distance, Black Lotus watched silently. He knew the rules. Don't mention the creators. These seemingly powerful and holy angels are nothing but ants in the eyes of the creators. Then, the angel said calmly, the regional integration begins now. The next second, the ground began to shake violently. Golden light flared up as countless regions started to merge together. The light walls that once blocked the view began to expand. As the light faded, row after row of figures appeared before everyone. Are those players from the other regions? An angel's voice echoed. Regional integration is complete. Look at their faces. They look like clowns. Everyone was already mentally prepared, but seeing dozens of angels all at once still left them deeply shaken before they could even process the shock. Since the population has dropped, we've merged the territories. Every 10 regions are now consolidated into one. The population per region is now around 5,000. This new merged area will be named Region 7. Only Black Lotus understood that this is where the real battle between the elites of the angel game begins. Each time, only the top 500 strongest players will be spared. If the count drops below 500, another merger happens. Before long, the entire country will have fewer than 500 top-tier survivors. When that happens, we'll be forced to fight players from other nations. Before announcing the main task for round 5, we'll hold a small celebration for the merger. Each of the 10 original regions had its own representative. But now that we've merged, we need to elect a single new regional representative. Of course, the rules are simple. The 10 representatives will fight. The last one standing becomes the new regional representative. Hearing this, the reps turned pale. The title was a total death trap. But Black Lotus knew that while the role was useless before round 5, its significance would change from here on out. Don't worry, everyone. Once the game ends, you'll be respawned and won't die in the real world. Furthermore, starting this round, the regional representative will be granted sovereign status. A sovereign can exert absolute control over those at a lower level, regardless of who they are or their class. If their level is lower than yours, you own them. You can use this power 10 times to make players do anything. Even become your personal plaything. Most players broke into wicked grins. What an incredible power. Looks like everyone's ready. The game will begin shortly. Since the regions have merged, we 10 angels also need to choose one regional representative. Being the lead rep isn't a fun job for us. I doubt any of us actually want the position. Since no one wants it, let's pick a fun way to decide. Since the players are about to fight for their rep, let them represent us angels as well. Everyone agreed. Right then, the angel from Black Lotus's region made a proposal. The human rep who survives as the winner will make their region's angel, the queen, with the power to command the other angels. Another angel asked, confused. So the queen can dominate the others? Instantly, the angels agreed. This was a very entertaining wager. The angel from the Depper region said, you seem very confident in your rep. Mine is incredibly strong and has always been rank 1 in his area. Oh really? Black Lotus's angel gave a meaningful smile. Since you're so confident, do you want in on my wager? Hearing that, all the surrounding angels joined in. It was a fascinating bet. They then gathered all the reps. Now, it's time for your battle. Dance for us on stage. The ground shook as a blinding light flashed. When the group came to, they were already inside a dueling arena. Panic broke out instantly. Don't panic. This is the arena I've prepared for you. If you leave the arena or die, you will stay dead for real. Everyone grew wary, scanning their surroundings and summoning their weapons. They had to watch both the enemies in front and potential backstabbers. A man looked around. Being a regional representative meant they all had exceptional combat skills. But I don't believe anyone is stronger than me. I have the dissolution rune. If my attack lands, the rune automatically dismantles the opponent. Thanks to this rune, I've been number 1 in my region 4 times. He started to move, thinking he needed to show everyone his power. That way, they'd be too terrified to see him as prey. The man smirked arrogantly, declaring, "I'll be taking the title of regional representative." Black Lotus slowly stepped forward. He had no time for these games. Their levels weren't even at 20. The man happily thought. He finally found a sacrificial lamb to set an example. It was his first time seeing someone use a scythe as a primary weapon, with such a small frame. Can you even handle that massive thing? But when he saw the name Black Scythe, his face filled with dread. You're the Black Scythe? His body began to tremble uncontrollably. He's the Black Scythe, the man who topped the rankings 4 times. His level is over 30. The man knew he stood 0 chance against the Black Scythe. The angels outside also noticed something was wrong. Why did that man suddenly drop his weapon? One angel asked, "Depra, is that your region's rep?" Depra was equally confused. What is that foolish human doing? Why is he just standing there? Shaking? Black Lotus's angel couldn't help but chuckle. "You think this is funny?" Depra snapped. "I already know the outcome, but I didn't expect it to be this amusing. Do you know why he's acting like that? Because he's looking at my regional representative." Depra looked down. "That man with the scythe is your rep? I still don't see why mine would be scared." Black Lotus's angel said softly, "Do you know what he's terrified of?" Depra didn't understand the fear. But he was the number 1 man in his region 4 times. Your rep was only number 1 in his own region. Mine is the number 1 across all regions. The angels finally focused on Black Lotus. This man is the Black Scythe. I've seen that name at the very top of the leaderboard every time. Depra finally understood the gap between being local rank 1 and overall rank 1. Then Black Lotus swiftly finished the man off. This man he had completely lost his will to fight, unable to even think about making a move. At that moment, the other regional reps noticed this and began to panic, shouting, "I'm only level 13. How can I possibly win?" Every step Black Lotus took felt like a chokehold to the man, as if death itself were closing in, no intention of being your enemy. The man tried desperately to explain that he had no desire to fight. "I've already put my weapons away. We surrender. We all surrender." This was the first time the angels had witnessed anything like this. Dozens of regional reps surrendering all at once. They want to lose so pathetically. "If you choose to surrender, we will erase your very existence." Everyone fell into despair. It was a death sentence either way. "If we die by Black Lotus's hand, we can respawn. I don't want to be erased by an angel." Hearing this, everyone forced themselves to face Black Lotus. Even if they failed, at least they'd stay alive. "You've made the right choice. But even united, you're still just a bunch of ants." Facing the charging crowd, Black Lotus calmly drew his dark scythe. A scorching aura slowly engulfed the entire blade. In the next instant, Black Lotus vanished from sight. When he reappeared, he was already standing in front of them. Before they could even raise their weapons, his strike had finished. Confused voices rang out. "What happened? We didn't even feel any pain." But a second later, everyone felt their consciousness fade as they collapsed. The angels were also stunned, left speechless by the display. "We knew the battle would end quickly, but we never expected the Black Scythe to end it so dominantly. According to the rules, Black Scythe is now the new regional rep, and the angel from his region is the queen." Depra asked bitterly, You knew all along that you'd win." "Of course, I wouldn't have suggested otherwise." Depra was fuming. She thought becoming queen was a sure thing. She never imagined she'd lose. "Since the match is over, we must follow the rules. Besides, we're angels, we shouldn't look at fools in front of humans." Then, the angel announced the result. Black Scythe is the sole representative of this region. He has gained the temporary skill Dominator. He can order players to do anything. It has no effect on players with a higher level than his, as expected. "Watch these other fallen reps be respawned now," Depra stated reluctantly. "From now on, the rep is the Black Scythe." Next up is the start of round 5. The mission difficulty has been raised. Kill 300 orcs within 10 hours. In their experience, orcs weren't particularly powerful monsters. However, the angel said, "I've made things a bit tougher for you this time." The players began whispering. They thought orcs would be an easy task to complete. Depper didn't bother explaining further, only saying, "You'll understand soon enough." Player asked about the subquest, collect balance stones. Why? Is the reward unknown? This time, subquest rewards are hidden. You'll only find out once you finish, but nearby, Black Lotus clearly remembered that the reward is the balance rune, and this subquest's difficulty far exceeds that of the main mission. Even if you finish the quest, meeting the criteria for the rune is nearly impossible, and the angel mentioned there are only 4 balance stones in the entire region. That means only one person can complete it. Even then, it's not guaranteed one person will get all 4. Of course, you can take a balance stone by killing another player. The game officially begins now. From here on, death is final. Then the angel vanished. The first thing Black Lotus had to do was kill 300 orcs. The players behind him decided to follow, because the angel said the difficulty was up. He just became the regional rep. Do you really want to be his slave? We all know how strong he is. He can finish the mission fast. We can learn from him and stay out of danger. The scene shifts. The group follows Black Lotus to an orc village. The orcs spotted him and started charging. In an instant, the orcs were slaughtered. There aren't many in this village, Black Lotus muttered to himself. Roughly 50 or 60, seeing a stranger appear. The orcs grabbed their massive stone axes. Again, in a flash, 3 orcs were cut down. Then, Black Lotus began a systematic slaughter throughout the village. Not a single dwelling was spared, seeing him defeat the orcs so effortlessly. The orcs look weak. We should be able to finish this easily too. The group went off to find their own orc village. They soon found a large one. Everyone noted it was 3 times bigger than the one Black Lotus hit. The orcs spotted the players. A loud horn sounded, and the village orcs rushed out with incredible speed, surrounding the players instantly. Something feels wrong. These orcs are dangerous and their numbers are insane. Don't panic, there's just a lot of them. Facing the incoming orcs, they charged without hesitation, thinking they were weak. The sound of clashing weapons rang out. Indeed, the orcs' attacks were clumsy. The group's eyes gleamed with excitement. Their movements were so slow. One man stabbed an orc, feeling triumphant. Defeating them is a piece of cake. But a moment later, his face filled with terror. Why can't I pull my weapon out of its body? Before he could react, a massive blow landed. Other players realized the situation as screams filled the village. Meanwhile, Black Lotus whispered, "My tail is gone." It was hard not to notice 20 or 30 players following him. If they had just stuck to small or medium villages like I did, this wouldn't. Villages with signal horns are extremely dangerous. A large settlement like that usually has around 300 orcs living together. These round 5 orcs are built differently than the ones before. You have to aim for the neck to take them down quickly. That's the only way to finish the job fast and avoid a lot of unnecessary trouble. As Black Lotus landed his final blow, the mission to kill 300 orcs was complete. It had only taken him an hour. To wrap it up, out of nearly 5,000 players, Black Lotus was still the first to cross the finish line. Now that the main quest is done, it's time I go help him. Not far away, a random squad was struggling against the monsters constantly, complaining that these orcs were way stronger than the ones they'd faced before. After an hour of fighting tooth and nail, they had only killed 5. The leader went silent. At this rate, we'll never make it. We have to finish this, because if we fail, we're dead. I wanted to play it safe. But we have no choice but to find a bigger work camp. We start losing ground whenever we face more than 3 at once. Maybe we should stick to the small groups and pick them off? You're not wrong, but at this pace, we're screwed. We have to risk it and go after a larger village. So, the squad followed their teammate to a large village they had stumbled upon earlier. They had avoided it before because it seemed suicidal, but they were back. We need to sneak in quietly. The team felt uneasy. The place was massive. So why was it so empty? Maybe they're all inside their huts. The leader muttered, "If there are 5 orcs in each hut, we could probably clear one every 5 minutes. Soon, the group gathered at a door, waiting for the signal to burst in. With a quick glance at his team, he kicked the door open. The squad rushed inside. But they froze at the sight before them. In that tiny hut, 9 orcs were waiting. The monsters glared at the intruders. There was no way they could take on 9 at once. But if they ran, they'd just alert the whole village. They had to fight their way out. Massive axes swung through the air with a deadly whistle. The team scrambled, and the leader saw an opening near an orc's stomach. But instead of the gut, he targeted the ankle. The orc collapsed, and a third teammate stepped up, taking it out for good. But before they could even celebrate, the remaining orcs were driven into a total frenzy. One orc's presence felt way more intense than the others. Its aura was suffocating before anyone could react. It slammed into a teammate. Jan moved fast, driving his blade into the beast's neck. Seeing their comrade fall, the other orcs roared in rage. The odds were already against us, and now we've got an injured teammate. We need to get out of here. We can't handle this many orcs. Without a second thought, they bolted for the exit, but the orcs were right on their heels, refusing to let them escape. The teammate in the lead suddenly stopped, his face masked in pure despair. Dozens of orcs were already waiting for them outside. This is it. We're going to die here. Terror washed over them. Surrounded by nearly 20 orcs, the group was ready to give up. Just as. That's when the captain suddenly spoke. The fight is over. Captain, there's no need for us to fight. With so many orcs, we don't have a single chance of winning. I know we can't win, but look around you. The orcs' faces are full of mockery. Why haven't they attacked us yet? It's because they're treating us like toys for a game. We can't die in battle, but we won't let them play with us like rats. Even if we have to die, we can't let these half-orcs treat us like playthings. At least we won't die in humiliation. We must die like warriors. Hearing this, everyone gathered their courage to resist. They grabbed their weapons, ready for a fight to the death. Right at that moment, the orcs seemed to send some kind of signal. The half-orcs surrounding the group all started running back. No one understood why the half-orcs were leaving. What the heck is going on? A loud explosion brought everyone back to their senses. Now only 7 half-orcs from the cabin are left. We still have a chance to survive. Guys, let's give it all we've got. Led by the man, they charged at the half-orcs. After a fierce battle, though everyone was injured to some extent, we survived. Captain, if it weren't for you, we'd all be dead. This wasn't just my doing. It was a victory for everyone, even though I'm in pain right now. I'm still curious where the half-orcs went. I'll go check out the situation. You guys stay here and protect him. Then, he walked toward where the half-orcs had left. He looked around. Why is there not a single half-orc in sight? But the moment the man turned his head, his face showed utter disbelief. Countless half-orc corpses lay on the ground. What on earth happened? At a rough estimate, there were hundreds of half-orc corpses. Suddenly, at the end of the pile of bodies, a figure appeared. It's the Black Scythe. Black Lotus turned around. I didn't expect anyone else to be in this tribe. Black Lotus looked at the man. His name is Zhao Yonhao. Is this the famous mercenary king from my past life? Being a mercenary is a very unique profession. Like warriors, they are melee types. And like warriors, they charge at the front lines. But there's one difference. They must sign a mercenary contract with others to gain greater power. Signing a contract with the mercenary king allows that power to reach its full potential. Now, Black Lotus looks at the man. It really is the mercenary king from the past life, Zhao Yonhao. The man squeezed out a tense smile. Black Scythe, hello. Black Lotus couldn't help but be surprised. You know me? And Zhao Yonhao said that everyone knows the #1 ranked player. He was actually thrilled inside, thinking, I might get to shake his hand. I wonder if that would make a Black Scythe upset. Having the inner thought rune, Black Lotus saw right through his mind. The man doesn't seem like the type to betray his teammates. Is this why he became the mercenary king in the past life? Then he couldn't help but ask, did you kill all these orcs by yourself? Upon getting a positive answer from Black Lotus, even though he already knew, he was still shocked. Thank you for saving me. But Black Scythe said he didn't even know he was there, even though you didn't mean to save me. The fact remains that we're alive because of you. I'll remember this life-saving debt. Whatever. All the orcs in this tribe have been cleared out. You don't need to worry. What do you mean by you? How did you know I was with the team? Black Lotus gestured for him to look behind. Zhao Yonhao spoke quickly. Didn't I tell you to wait for me to scout first? We couldn't let you face such danger alone. Hearing this, a touched expression appeared on the man's face. These must be the mercenary sign with Zhao Yonhao. He's a leader with team spirit and is trustworthy. As the group approached, they realized it was the Black Scythe. Don't worry too much. I'm just here for some fun. You'd better leave soon, since all the orcs are dead, the boss will respawn soon. It'll be dangerous if you stay. Yes, Lord Black Scythe, we all look up to you. The man thanked him again and prepared to leave. Did you hear that sound? What is that noise? A creepy low growl. Black Lotus said seriously, leave now, the boss is here. So this is the half-orc boss? A blood moon suddenly appeared, in the dark, in crimson light. A roaring half-orc appeared before them. Is this really a half-orc? It's hair-raising. Just the roar alone is deafening. The half-orc boss has appeared. As long as I kill this guy, I can get the Stone of Balance. Once I kill him, and the other 3 tribal bosses, I can finish this quest and get the Balance Rune. Now, the boss started picking up the pace, desperate to tear the human invaders apart. This guy looks pretty ticked off. Zhao Yonhao felt a deep primal fear for the first time. His legs went numb, and his body was completely controlled by terror. The boss roared again and raised its weapon, striking hard at the man. Seeing an attack carrying the scent of death, Zhao Yonhao kept growling, move, dang it. With just one strike, the ground shattered. At the last second he finally overcame his fear and managed to move. Is this really a boss we can stand against? We're gonna die here. But Black Lotus didn't care what he was thinking. In an instant he threw him out of the way. Are you daydreaming? Leave the rest to me. Get away from the center of the battlefield. It's too dangerous for you here. We understand. The man knew that staying there would only hold the Black Scythe back. Watching the half-orc boss approaching step by step, Black Lotus didn't hesitate. The Scythe of Death cut through the night sky. This time, the target wasn't the neck, but the boss's ankles. In just a second, hundreds of attacks landed. The boss couldn't stand being treated like this. By a mere human ant, it slammed its power down rapidly, but Black Lotus just lightly hopped back to dodge. You might be huge, but you're more agile than I expected. If I get hit even once, it would be a struggle even for me. But no matter how high your damage is, it's useless if you can't hit me. While Black Scythe kept dodging, the next moment, his figure moved so fast it blurred, vanishing on the spot. When Black Lotus reappeared, he was already at the boss's flank. The Scythe of Death, trailing a deep crimson glow, pierced through the boss's arm. The orc boss barely managed to parry, using his long blade to block most of the damage. Suddenly his arm seemed ready to be ripped off, the moment Black Lotus landed, and scathed from the strike. He gathered his strength again and swung back from behind. No matter how strong the boss was, Black Lotus's combat skills were far more refined. A gruesome bloody gash appeared on the orc boss's shoulder, which completely enraged him. The orc boss tried to kill Black Lotus the moment he landed, but Black Lotus was incredibly agile. He moved away the instant his feet touched the ground, constantly dodging. He didn't give the boss a single opening. Black Lotus realized this couldn't go on, as those 2 attacks hadn't dealt any decisive damage. As the orc boss missed again, Black Lotus seized the chance and charged. The Eye of Death suddenly locked onto the orc boss. With 2 hits to the shoulder, the orc's attack speed had slowed down. The Scythe of Death began to build up power as Black Lotus stepped onto the orc's body for leverage. Black Lotus growled, death dance. It was as if 1,000 scythes were slashing at the orc's neck, spinning nonstop with trails of bloody light. With a sharp crack, the orc's head slowly fell off. The boss's body collapsed on the spot. Under the blood moan, Black Lotus looked like a god of death. A series of crisp notifications rang out. Orc warrior defeated. Experience increased. Received. Bone piercing arrow. Received. Work hard. As expected, the rewards for a boss are incredibly generous. Opening the bag. Epic bone piercing arrow. Each hit increases attack speed by 5%. Stacking up to 10 times. The orc heart. Most people would probably throw away something so gross. Most would think it's just an ordinary heart, but Black Lotus knew its hidden use. It's a material for upgrading the Scythe of Death. Zhao Yonhao and his team ran over to thank Black Lotus for killing the boss. He was my target anyway. With that, Black Lotus prepared to leave. Even if Black Scythe didn't mean to help, saving them was a fact. Everyone expressed their desire to become as strong as him. But behind them, their teammate looked panicked. A severely wounded ally could no longer hold on and collapsed. Zhao Yonhao was shocked. Why is this happening? He looked fine just a moment ago. I had to fake it so I wouldn't worry everyone. But now, I don't think I can make it. We have to hang in there. You'll be fine once the game is over. Stop trying to comfort me. Even if I make it to the end, I won't be able to finish the quest requirements. I'm sure there's a way. We will definitely help you finish. The commotion behind him caught Black Lotus's attention. He was surprised in his past life. The cold-blooded mercenary king also had such a vulnerable side. Their bond was even better than he imagined. Black Lotus thought of his life relying on his brother. He could feel for them. You guys Look like you need help. He took a fatal wound in the last fight. Is there any way to save him? His injuries are indeed serious, but I can fix him. He invoked heal. Pure energy began repairing the man's body. In no time, he was completely restored. Everyone was in shock and couldn't help but ask how he did it. This is just a basic spell heal. Anyone can buy it at the shop. I think I've seen that skill. It cost 20,000 gold, but I didn't know it would be this miraculous. They seem to be misunderstanding something. A normal heal spell isn't nearly this powerful. Standard heal can only patch up minor wounds. Heal is a holy blessing skill, and he only got this result because he possessed the radiant rune. The man shouted in excitement. His injuries were actually gone, even though he was healed. His arm felt like new, so he should avoid heavy use. But of course, killing half-orcs as usual wouldn't be a problem. Everyone was incredibly grateful to Black Lotus. In just 1 hour, he had saved them 3 times. If you ever need anything, just let us know. They offered their items to thank Black Scythe. Seeing this, the group pulled out their their treasures. Whole Black Lotus didn't want anything from them. If you don't take these, we'll all feel terrible. Black Lotus was a bit dazed. While these items aren't rare, they still hold decent value. I've gained something better than items, a favor from the mercenary king. By helping him now, I'll surely get a reward in the future. He had to kill the orc boss anyway, so he might as well accept their gratitude. Then he left the orc tribe. Meanwhile, a young girl was pacing anxiously. She had been here for an hour already. Is it really okay if I don't finish the quest? Looking at the countdown, she hadn't made any progress. It was all her fault. Her own fear made her lose track of Black Scythe. Actually, Black Lotus told Julie to look for player Black Scythe in the 5th round and tell him that Black Lotus was a friend who would help him survive the 5th round. Black Scythe was the candidate for the regional representative. In the 5th round, Julie could have found him easily, but Black Scythe's act of slaughtering other representatives terrified her. Black Scythe's performance on the battlefield was far beyond anything she could fathom. In her eyes, he was like a god of death. Even as a spectator, she could feel that heavy murderous intent. When Black Lotus finished her regional qualifiers, Julie knew she should go find him. She kept whispering, Black Scythe won't hurt me, trying to brace herself. After a few hours, she finally calmed down. But by then, Black Scythe was nowhere to be found. Julie had missed her chance to meet him and began to panic. I remember what Black Lotus said. If you can't find him, wait an hour before moving. Now I've already waited long enough. I can't stay here anymore. She finally decided to take. It's already been an hour. I have no idea when I'll see Black Scythe. The next time we meet might be at the end of the round. I can't keep waiting here for him. I need to go look for him elsewhere. We finally meet. This is the first time Black Lotus meets his girlfriend in the game, but the first thing he does is force her to kill a half-orc with her own hands. Julie decided to actively search for Black Scythe. Soon she found an orc tribe. This tribe was much larger than she expected. The closer she got to the orcs, the easier it would be to find him. But she immediately dismissed the idea of going in. It was too dangerous for her. But she didn't realize a half-orc had already appeared behind her. Julie was shocked. She was so far from the tribe. So how was she spotted? I don't want to fight, but there's no way around it now. Blessing power all. Stats increased by 50%. Looking at the incoming half-orc, Julie was relieved there was only one. She knew their weaknesses, but she wasn't skilled at combat. Could she land a precise hit? There wasn't any time to think. She had to charge at the half-orc. As long as she could pierce its neck, she could defeat it. The half-orc noticed her intent. The half-orc blocked her attack with its arm. Julie didn't expect the 5th round orcs to be as strong as the angel said. Luckily, her weapon didn't go in deep, so she could pull it out. The half-orc was enraged and attacked Julie like a violent storm. She could only barely dodge each time. I can't just keep dodging. I have to attack to survive. She found an opening and aimed for its neck again, being hit in its weak spot. The half-orc panicked and tried desperately to protect its neck. Julie took the chance while it was flustered and pierced its throat. I finally did it. Julie's face lit up with joy after killing her first half-orc in a one-on-one fight. Just then, footsteps came from behind. Why is Black Scythe here? Julie rubbed her eyes in disbelief. Is she hallucinating? When she looked again, it really was him. I couldn't find him. So did he find me instead? Black Lotus was just passing by. She couldn't miss this chance to team up with him. She turned and shouted, Black Lotus, wait. Seeing his girlfriend so flustered she couldn't speak, he was secretly pleased but pretended not to know her, asking what she wanted. Julie said she wanted to team up and asked for his help. Why should I help you? What's in it for me? I'm a blessing class. I can give you powerful buffs. She opened her palm and whispered a blessing. Light immediately pulsed around Black Lotus, and his stats surged. Julie explained that this was her blessing skill, which could boost stats by 50% for 3 hours. Black Lotus checked his menu. Indeed, his stats were 50%. My blessing will definitely be useful to you, so please let me join your team. Black Lotus said, if I want this buff, I'd have to let you join. But did you forget? I'm the regional representative. I could just use my power to control you. Julie panicked, thinking he actually might. Seeing her nervous look, he said, as long as you don't betray me, I'll let you join. Julie thought, is it really that simple? She then promised she never would. I'm Black Scythe, level 32, Reaper class. I'm Julie, level 13, Blessing Mage. He changed the subject. Your kill earlier wasn't bad. But Julie embarrassedly admitted it was her first one. We're low on time. Let's finish the quest. He led Julie deeper in and told her to stay close so he could protect her. Julie whispered to herself, that Black Scythe didn't seem as scary as he looked. Just then, 3 half-orcs appeared. Julie was startled by the sudden group. Black Lotus told her to wait and charged at them. The half-orcs were instantly terrified by his overwhelming presence. He could have killed them in one hit, but Black Scythe only incapacitated them. He kept swinging his scythe as if he were torturing them. Julie was shocked by his power, but didn't understand why he was doing this. Black Scythe gave her a cold look. Come here and kill them so they count. Forward to quest progress. In just half an hour, she was already a third of the way done. Julie couldn't believe the speed. To other players, this would be terrifying. But to Black Scythe, it was too slow. Large tribes were too dangerous for Julie. If they got mobbed by over 50 orcs, he couldn't guarantee your safety, so he decided to look for an orc shaman. Julie excitedly said she'd finish in 3 hours. I'll have you done in 1 hour. Julie was stunned. 1 hour? Are you serious? We just need to find one orc shaman. Shamans can summon orcs, and I know where one is hiding. Julie wondered how he knew its location. I've been to this place alone before. It's very dangerous, so you have to stay close to me. Julie was dazed. Black Scythe wasn't as cold as she thought. He was actually very gentle and easier to get along with than she expected. Soon, they reached a small village. Julie asked if such a tiny place really had a shaman. Only Black Lotus knew. This village was a trap set by the shaman. He hides the players he kills to make it look like a weak tribe. Once a player enters the shaman's room and triggers the trap, they get swarmed. In reality, the only orc in the whole tribe is the orc shaman. In this room, each time, the shaman summons 8 to 12 orcs. As long as you follow my lead, it will be very complete the quest easily. Black Lotus told Julie how to handle the shaman. Julie said she would definitely do it. Black Scythe had been protecting her all this time, so she wanted to handle this one on her own. Black Lotus thought this was an incredibly simple task, so he said, I'll leave it to you. I'll be waiting outside. The shaman is inside this house. Julie pushed open the door and saw a long corridor. She walked forward with a racing heart, looking nervous. The next moment, is this the trap Black Scythe mentioned? I need to stay sharp. I just need to walk to the edge of the red carpet and then quickly run back out, even though it was a simple task. Julie was still very tense. She reached the carpet, and suddenly, out of nowhere, the shaman appeared on the seat ahead. Julie didn't hesitate and immediately ran outside. Once out, she breathed a sigh of relief and told Black Lotus she did exactly what he said. But would the shaman really send orcs out to investigate? Just then, the door swung open, and dozens of half-orcs charged out. They were met by Black Scythe's attack. In just one encounter, all of them were incapacitated. Looking at Julie in the distance, you can finish them off now. When Julie finished off the half-orcs, Black Scythe told her to go back in and repeat the process. But Julie wondered if he'd really fall for it again. Black Scythe said with a smile, even though he is a cunning shaman, his memory is like a fish, lasting only 7 seconds. Hearing this, Julie went back into action. Under Black Scythe's guidance, Julie successfully completed the quest to kill 300 half-orcs. She couldn't believe she actually finished the quest in less than an hour. Her level even reached 19. Black Lotus said, reaching level 20 would grant new skills and upgrade her existing ones. I'll keep helping you level up. Julie was stunned, thinking to herself that Black Scythe was actually a very considerate person. She then asked, can I keep teaming up with you? But she was cut off by a commotion behind them. They both looked toward the noise. A small squad of players looked at the piles of orc corpses, then at Black Scythe. Did Black Scythe kill all of these? One of the squad members apologized. We just wanted to hunt some half-orcs. We didn't know someone was already here. The others were still in disbelief. Hundreds of orc corpses. Could just 2 people really hunt all of them? And how could such a tiny village hold hundreds of half-orcs? Who is this woman? Is she Black Scythe's teammate? The big guy was surprised that Black Scythe would actually team up. Meanwhile, the monkey was already giving Julie a sleazy look. Checking her out. This woman's body is freaking amazing. Thump, you're not welcome here. You have 1 minute to leave. Even though everyone has the right to their own thoughts. They had already crossed the line for Black Lotus. The monkey shouted, "This is the first time we've met. Who the heck are you to tell us to leave?" Fox was shocked that someone would dare disobey Black Scythe. Black Lotus showed no mercy. And with a horizontal sweep, the monkey's mage was sliced in half. You have 20 seconds left. Snapping out of it, the group immediately fled. Are we really just going to leave? That darn Black Scythe. With the inner thought rune, Black Lotus knew exactly what they were thinking. He didn't care about these ants. He said, "Let's get back to leveling up." The fleeing squad kept looking back. Black Scythe doesn't seem to be following. I'm going back to spy on them. I'm curious where all those orcs came from. That small tribe couldn't possibly fit that many if we hide this far away. Black Scythe won't be able to spot us. At that moment, the orc shaman appeared again. He looked around and saw Black Scythe, desperate to tear him to pieces. But Black Lotus just clenched his fist. With a heavy punch, he lunges at the orc. The orc is instantly sent flying, crashing right into its companions behind it. Even the orcs in the rear are blown away by the impact before they can even hit the ground. Black Scythe's lightning-fast slashes are already upon them. In an instant, several orcs are completely incapacitated. The spectating team can't help but marvel. So this is the power of the #1 man. Why is Black Scythe so strong? Yet he's not killing them. As everyone watches, Julie steps up to the orcs to deliver the finishing blows. Only then do they realize that Black Scythe is protecting this woman so she can level up safely. The team members are filled with envy, one person getting all the orc EXP for themselves. Afterward, Julie enters the room again, and shortly after, she emerges. Seeing this, the crowd notices a pattern. Every time the woman enters the room, a few orcs follow her out. By their count, Black Scythe's group has already killed 50 of them. Such a small house couldn't possibly hold that many orcs, unless there's something inside that can infinitely spawn them. We just need to wait until they're done, then we can just replicate their method. At this moment, Julie looks overjoyed. She finally hit level 20 and unlocked a new ability, Blessing. Her buffing power has also increased to 60%. I want to try using my blessing on you. Black Scythe is happy to give it a shot, seeing as Julie's new skill came out aside on his lull so have used. Black Scythe feels house the hood. Begin to surge. A notification rings out. All stats increased by 60%. This is the power of the enhanced blessing. Next is my other new ability, Breath of Wind. As the aura envelopes Julie, Black Scythe's body is also covered in wind elemental energy. He feels as light as a feather. A crisp notification chimes. Attack speed and movement. Speed increased by 60% for 30 minutes. Checking his status panel. Black Scythe is amazed. A total stat boost plus a 60% attack speed buff. If he activates his Night Haunt skill, his combat power will reach its absolute peak. Now, how to deal with those little pests watching us? Julie giggles. They seem to think we haven't noticed them. I'll go into the room and lure the orcs out. I want to see how to handle it. Black Scythe then enters the room. A moment later, the wooden door swings open, and Black Scythe comes running out with more than a dozen orcs hot on his heels. Julie worries whether Black Scythe can really handle pulling so many orcs at once. Black Scythe be chased by orcs. Just then, a priest rushes out from the room. Whatever Black Scythe did, it clearly infuriated them. The high priest mutters an incantation, waving its staff. A burst of energy lands right in front of Black Scythe. Instantly, a wall of orcs forms. Now Black Scythe has nowhere to run. He's completely surrounded. What's with that masked orc? He looks different from the others. He looks more like an orc. Leader. I get it. That masked orc just summoned the others. That means this boss can summon minions infinitely. Julie is shocked. Black Scythe is surrounded. I have to find a way to help him. But a moment later, Julie's expression turns to one of confusion. Despite being surrounded by a horde of orcs, there isn't a trace of panic on Black Scythe's face. The orc priest keeps summoning, trying to kill Black Scythe with sheer numbers. But no matter how they attack, Black Scythe remains composed, even keeping an eye on the squad outside while fighting. The boss looks fragile, like a glass cannon summoner. Now that Black Scythe is tied up with the orcs, we can sneak in and kill the boss. If Black Scythe spots us, we'll just use helping him fight as an excuse. Besides, even for Black Scythe, dealing with this many orcs will take some time. The squad members then sneak around to the boss's flank. Julie sees everything. They're trying to steal Blackscythe's kill. I have to stop them. I can't let them take this boss. Earlier, Julie felt guilty because Blackscythe gave all the orcs to her. Blackscythe said his quest was already done and told her not to worry. Right now, his target is the orc high priest because he already has one balance stone. From now on, his goal will be the boss's loot, so he absolutely can't let them steal it. Just as the squad is about to strike, a deep voice echoes, Night of Death. Terror floods their hearts. What's happening? Within the range of Night of Death, they lose almost all vision. All the squad can do is stay quiet so the priest doesn't find them. But the members are too terrified to speak. It turns out, the priest noticed them long ago. His staff begins to glow, and dozens of orcs instantly surround them. With their vision gone, the squad members have no idea where the attacks will come from. In just a few minutes, the entire squad is slaughtered. By then, Scythe has finished off the surrounding orcs. I didn't expect them to try and kill the monster right under my nose. They overestimated themselves. Now, it's our turn to fight. The priest summons another wave of orcs, but this time, Scythe isn't planning to waste any more time. In a single breath, he kills all the orcs. He has both haste and all-stat blessing buffs active, plus the Reaper's exclusive rune. When using the Death Scythe, his attack is boosted by 100%. If he activates Night of Death, his attack speed will increase by another 50%. With these stacks, his speed and power have reached terrifying levels. In the blink of an eye, the Death Scythe is at the priest's throat, and the orc shaman's head is severed instantly, as the man kills the orc shaman. A series of system notifications ring out. Orc shaman defeated. Experience increased. Obtained massive gold. Obtained eternal sleep shroud. Obtained mystic totem. Obtained balance stone. Looking at the eternal stone, Scythe is very satisfied. This gear, although the necklace has no stat bonuses, has a special effect. Every monster kill increases 1 step point. In exchange, its durability decreases by 1. The necklace's stats effect is similar to the Black Fire Dragon rune. The moment its durability hits 0, the necklace will completely lose its effect. However, during the 8th Angel round, I can obtain a durability rune and find a blacksmith to restore it. This way, I can infinitely boost my stats. Nearby, Julie is looking for Scythe, but because of the Night of Death skill, she's lost her way. Before lifting Night of Death, I should deal with these corpses. With a command, Scythe burns them, and they are instantly reduced to ash by soul green flames. Then, he deactivates Night of Death. Julie, regaining her senses, is confused. Why did it go pitch black, and then suddenly back to normal? She looks around and finds Scythe, asking, what on earth happened? Did you see the others? I saw some people trying to sneak kill the shaman, not wanting Julie to know about the gruesome details. Scythe claims he doesn't know what happened either. Julie is still thinking, certain she heard screams. Scythe doesn't want her to see those bodies. He just wants to protect her properly in this life. Let's not dwell on what happened here. Let's go take down the boss in the next area together. Soon after, another orc tribe is completely wiped out. Meanwhile, Scythe is already battling a new orc chieftain. As expected, Scythe closes in with incredible speed and slashes the leader. The reward notifications chime again. Level up, experience gained, obtained orc archer boots, obtained rusty arrowhead, obtained Allenstone. Allenstone prop is now at 3. Looking at the new items, the boot's agility stat is perfect for his class. He's currently wearing starter gear, since he has some stat gems in his bag, socketing them into. The boots will give him a decent boost. He has already killed the 3 easiest bosses, only the strongest. One remains. Fighting the final boss has a time limit. Was 43 seconds. This time, he's determined to break his record. He then tells Julie to keep riding with him. Over the next few hours, Scythe goes on a killing spree. When the last major tribe is conquered, the notification sounds. Only 30 minutes left in the game. His level has reached 39, but there's no time to push for level 40. The Eternal Sleep Shroud's durability is almost at 0, meaning he has already gained a 900-point stat boost. Now, I must head for the final boss. We'll have to part ways. For a bit, I can't take you with me. From Scythe, Julie learns that the final boss is incredibly powerful. She knows she'd only be a burden. I can't go with you, but I can still buff you before you go. I'm sure these buffs will help against the boss. Julie says, you've helped me so much. I have nothing to give in return but this gem. Scythe tells her to keep it, but Julie feels this round was too hard for her. Without Scythe's help, she likely would have died in this round. Besides, she has 2 gems. She wants to save the other for her boyfriend. Hearing this, Black Scythe accepts it. He's clearly happy she's always thinking of him. He smiles and says, "I'm off. See you next time." Julie feels a pang of sadness, whispering, "When will next time be?" Soon, tracking magic flies through the forest. Notification, boss position. Confirmed. Following the tracking necklace's signal, the distance, but the boss is 1,121 meters. Since he can still track it, it means the boss isn't dead yet. Compared to the final boss, those 3 previous bosses were only mid-tier. Average players would need a rate of 300 level, 20 players to even stand a chance. In his 100 regressions, he had been killed by it 4 times. That experience helped him set a 43 kills record. Black Scythe arrives at the target location, but what he sees is unbelievable. He never thought there would be a group of players barely over-leveled 10 teaming up against it. This is pure suicide. It turns out a random squad is fighting the final boss. It's less of a fight and more of a ruthless massacre. A few hours ago, to complete the quest safely, players formed temporary squads. Initially, it was just for the quest. But through fighting orcs, they developed great teamwork. Each member knew their role, and they leveled up quickly through continuous battles. Not only did they hit level 20, they also finished the orc slaying quest at level 20. The squad gained powerful skills. The orcs they once struggled against became fragile playthings. As they grew stronger, they became arrogant, deciding to seek out a more powerful tribe for a challenge. Right then, the orc chieftain appeared in their sights. It was their first time seeing such a massive monster. They decided to take it down together, laughing and planning how to split the loot. As they approached, the boss let out a roar, and their instincts were flooded with pure dread. They thought they were strong, but the second they saw the boss, they realized how cocky they had been. In a single breath, the boss flew right in front of them. Before they could react, it had already killed one of their teammates like crushing an ant. It continued the assault. In a blink, 2 players were dead. The archer was paralyzed with fear as the boss's hand loomed over. The man fell into despair. "This isn't a monster we can fight." The boss threw the 4th player, smashing them into a pit several meters deep. When the boss turned to the man, he couldn't believe it. He was about to die here. He screamed in a breakdown, "I'm going to die." As the orc raised its arm to kill him, Black Scythe leaped from behind. A lightning-fast slash came down. The once powerful orc chieftain instantly collapsed. Before the man could react, the invincible orc was dead. "Is that Black Scythe?" he blurted out. Black Scythe hadn't expected this sneak attack. To think he could one-shot the boss. A notification rings. "You have slain a high orc. Level up. You have reached level 40. Rank, Commoner. Promoted to Expert rank. Negotiation feature unlocked. Death Seal skill enhanced to 140%. Night of Death range increased to 1,000 yards. New skill unlocked. Moonlight Devastation. Moonlight Devastation is a Reaper exclusive skill. It deals repeated enhanced strikes up to 1,200% to enemies within range. The damage is a hybrid of physical and magical. Next time I'm swarmed by a mob, this single skill will be more than enough. Another string of notifications. Hops up. Obtain high orc gauntlets. Obtained. Orc teeth. Obtain balance stone. Balance stone progress. 4 out of 4. Side quest complete. The balance rune appears in Black Scythe's hand and automatically merges with his body. The balance rune doubles your stats if the gap between them is less than 10. Black Scythe has been prepping for this day all along. He has kept his bonus points gap strictly under 10. Now let's see what this balance rune can actually do. A moment later, Black Scythe is speechless. He knew it would be a lot, but he didn't expect his bonus points to double this much. Black Scythe stands there in shock. He never thought he'd net this many points, even with his luck stats. A notification rings. You killed a high orc within 1 second. Criteria: Matt, congratulations on the 10-second orc kill. You receive 100,000 gold. In his last life, it took 43 seconds, and he only got 20,000 gold. Since he broke the record, it will be permanently recorded. As a reward, he receives a unique item. Since his rebirth, this is the first time Black Scythe has encountered a new scenario. After 100 loops, this is his first time getting a record-breaking reward. The system says he can choose one unique item. With a racing heart, he opens the rewards thing. Pick one from the following. Can I really pick a special piece of gear? I don't need a special weapon since I've got the materials for the Death Lotus upgrade. What I need is a helmet. While Black Scythe is immersed in the excitement of his reward, the man beside him is floored. Black Scythe actually killed that orc in 1 hit. Before the man can speak, Black Scythe is already walking away. Then, the angel addresses the crowd. Has everyone finished their quests? Looking at the survivors, it seems many players died in just 10 hours, even though the orcs were buffed. Teamwork made it manageable. Now, let's see the results. Ranked first in this region, Black Scythe. Ranked first globally, also Black Scythe. The crowd is stunned. Black Scythe reached level 40. They can't believe he killed 300 orcs in just 1 hour. But all he wants to know is his rank rewards. You are regional rank 1. You are global rank 1. Regional rank 1 receives an epic necklace choice box. Global rank 1 receives a special reward box. Since he participated in 5 game rounds, you get a special title. Achievement unlocked, magnificent. Obtain the unique transcendent title. This is exactly the reward he wanted. Ranking first for 5 consecutive rounds grants a permanent 50% experience boost. The epic necklace box offers 3 types. Most people would just pick one at random. But Black Scythe knows their hidden effects. Without hesitation, he chooses the pearl necklace. Although its basic stat bonuses are negligible, its abnormal magic resistance is boosted by 35%. In the battles to come, magic resistance will be crucial. In the future, this kind of resistance jewelry will be worth a fortune. As regional rank 1, you can choose the following. For Black Scythe, the only useful thing is the experience buff. Right then, the angel cuts off the rankings. Announcement. You should have all seen the results by now. Only 1,585 people finished a quest this round. Everyone else must face their execution. Screams erupt everywhere. To the angel, they're just a bunch of bugs, begging for mercy. Black Scythe sneers at the sight. These so-called angels are just Hans being controlled by someone else. The angel laughs. You guys didn't even finish the side quest, but then stops. Realizing Black Scythe had already completed it 10 minutes ago, it was still incomplete. How the heck did he do it? The angel doesn't want to overthink it and tells the survivors they can return to reality. Back in the real world, Black Scythe stretches. Now I can start upgrading my weapon. Using the Death Lotus as the base, the Orc Heart, Mystic Totem, Rusty Arrowhead, and Orc Teeth will serve as the materials. Upgrading the Death Lotus will give it a massive power spike. He clicks upgrade, and his scythe shimmering with a faint golden light appears. The Death Scythe is now a unique existence with bonus damage. Stats. Combined with the Reaper class, its power is absolute. Black Scythe can't help but laugh out loud. He's much stronger than in his last life. With the 100,000 gold from killing the orcs, I'll learn some practical common skills. Perimeter search lets me scout my surroundings. Enhanced kinetic vision helps me track prey faster. I'll also learn resistance training, boosting all resistances by 15%. I've got 14,000 stamina left. I'll save it to farm some new rare items in a few days. Next, I'll use the tracking skill to find Huang Rum's whereabouts. Since the skill is working, it means he's still alive. I'll need him as a pawn again next round, though it'll be the last time I use him. The round ends. The next day, Black Scythe invites Julie to meet up. With a racing heart, Julie wonders why he's in such a rush to see her. Her mind starts wandering, but she quickly shakes it off. No dirty thoughts in broad daylight. Black Scythe arrives and teases the flustered Julie. Can't wait to see me, huh? Looking at Julie's bright red face, Black Scythe can't stop grinning. Then she asks how he did in the 5th round. Thanks to Black Scythe, I got 2nd place and even scored this epic necklace. It looks like it'd suit you perfectly. But Julie feels that since it was thanks to his help that she could team up with Black Scythe, she wants to give it to him. He quickly declines. He's a diviner. This necklace boosts agility, which doesn't fit his class. Besides, his current level is only 19, which doesn't meet the requirement. Julie realizes he's right. A diviner isn't exactly a combat class. Come to think of it, how do diviners even fight anyway? He says diviners just have some basic, low-level skills. It's too embarrassing to tell you. Since you turned down the necklace, don't say no to this. I got this stat-boosting gem when I leveled up. Looking at the sweet girl in front of him, who always keeps him in mind, he accepts the gem without hesitation and tells her it makes him happy. You can keep thinking about me all you want. Then he says, I have something for you too. Julie's face turns beet red. Could it be what I was just daydreaming about? But the next second, she hears him say, he's giving her info on the 6th game round. She freezes, then forces an awkward smile. Info on the 6th round? That's great. After hearing the details, Julie asks, should I keep teaming up with Black Scythe in the next round? He won't turn you down, because in the 5th round, you showed off your massive buffing power. Was he mean to you? No, he was great. Just not quite what I expected. Since he's the global rank 1, I assumed he'd be arrogant and stuck up, but as it turns out, he's incredibly strong and actually quite kind. Plus, I get the feeling that he can somehow read people's minds. He thinks to himself, that's because I have the insight. Rune, I'm not nearly as perfect as she thinks. I filled the angels game 99 times. It took 99 failures to get this far. This will be my very last chance. What are you thinking about? Julie's voice pulls him back to reality. She asked worriedly if he's stressed about the 6th round. If our regions merge, then I can be the one to help. You. Julie is so kind, he's beaming inside. I'll work hard to get stronger, so when the regions merge next time, I can help. When we meet in the game, let me be the one to protect you. I wonder what her face will look like when she finds out. I'm actually Black Scythe. Scene cut. At dusk, he arrives at Ma Tianlu's skyscraper. Tianlu says he's been waiting. Thanks to your intel, I breezed through the 5th round. I called you here because I have 2 things to tell you. Is it about the 6th round info? After the 5th round, he trusts me completely. Besides the 6th round intel, I have something even more important to tell you. We need to call a shareholders meeting. In my prediction, you need to change the company name and business direction to succeed. What do I need to do? I'm all in. I will propose this at the meeting. All you have to do is agree. If the other shareholders object, it's up to you to convince them. As the Angels game progresses, more veteran players are emerging. We need a pure player community. Before uncovering the secrets, he needs Tianlu to set up a trading site. Tianlu doesn't get it. Is it really necessary to pivot to a player trading site? Do players with that much power really still need money? Of course. In my prophecy, future players will need massive amounts of gold. Level 40 players in my vision were still using gold for trades, and a trading feature unlocks at level 40. We just need to build a safe and reliable platform. We'll ensure secure trades while taking a transaction fee. True, now is the perfect time to lay out the trading site. But once it's up, will players actually use it? Items we get in the game, not for sale. After 5 rounds of accumulation in the shops, everyone will have a lot of items to sell. Players who reach level 20 must have started exploring the deeper uses of game props. If everyone reaches level 40, the number of people needing material trades will rise exponentially. After much thought, Ma Tianlu also believes this is an excellent opportunity. Ma Tianlu thinks that maybe an auction feature will appear in the future. He fully believes what I said. For me, this is also a great chance. I can monopolize props that others don't know the use for. Owning these items allows me to create unique, legendary, or even mythical grade equipment. Since we decided to start a trading site, as the largest shareholder, you decide the name. Since it's a platform for players, let's call it Players World. It's best to finish this before the end of round 6. Speaking of round 6, please tell us what round 6 is like. After a moment, Ma Tianlu pondered. It seems teamwork is still needed in round 6. Thank you so much for the info on round 6. Being friends with him really has huge benefits for me. I'll push for the shareholders meeting ASAP. I'll need you to explain it then. Black Lotus said no problem. A few days later, Black Lotus kept checking the time on his phone. The moment it hit midnight, he opened and refreshed the shop. Even though it was just some ragged clothes, they cost a full 20,000 gold. Only a crazy person would buy that. But Black Lotus bought them without hesitation. Only he knows these ragged clothes have a hidden purpose. Only those with the blueprints can know the use of various items. By purchasing the necessary items, one can easily craft high-tier gear. I must rely on these items to make tons of gold. Anyway, what I need to do now is to win everyone over at tomorrow's meeting. The next day, all shareholders arrived. When Black Lotus brought up the topic, everyone thought that humans who became players with power wouldn't need money. They opposed the site, but through his explanations, the proposal was finally passed. You performed beyond my expectations. I'll handle the setup of the website. Of course, I have other things to do next. Now, I only have one thing to do, and that's to use Huang Yeomin. Meanwhile, somewhere else, a secret PCW meeting is being held. PCW is an anti-government alliance of players. Black Lotus once contacted them under a fake ID to get the clone rune. You're a few days early for this regular meeting. The woman wondered what happened. The man looked grim. The recruiters sent to get players have lost contact. Even after the 5th round, there's no news. That means they're likely dead. A notification sounded, and the leader, the chairman, entered the room. Fewer people are here today. I'm glad you all are alive. Our alliance's recruiters have gone missing. All players who applied to join are dead. Only Black Scythe is still alive. I saw the results of the 5th round, but it's weird. Why did Black Scythe apply to join us and then leave? I've looked into it. Last time, someone impersonated Black Scythe, and in the end, they died mysteriously. So, someone is pretending to be Black Scythe. Another manager spoke up. Someone must be faking it. Otherwise, how could Black Scythe join an organization like ours? What do you mean by an organization like ours? The man suddenly realized he misspoke. I just think Black Scythe is ranked first, so he must be very arrogant. No need to explain. This is dissatisfaction with our alliance. From today on, you're relieved of all duties. I won't tolerate anyone slandering the alliance. The next moment, White Blade was kicked from the channel. That was just a minor hiccup. Let's continue the meeting. Though everyone was unhappy with the alliance, they didn't dare say it. Suddenly, a man cried out, "Someone is using the name Black Scythe to add me." Everyone was shocked. This time, he claims he is Black Scythe, but the site shows his real name is Huang Yo-min. Let him join us. We aren't sure if he's the real Black Scythe. At the very least, we need to go see him. If he's just playing a prank, I'll kill him. Meanwhile, Black Lotus sat at his computer. Since someone dropped Black Scythe's name again, PCW definitely won't ignore it. They'll send people to Huang Yo-min's house to confirm. Now it's my turn to act. The way PCW operates is completely wrong. To join, you have to kill a civilian. Doing this only worsens the conflict between players and civilians, which will lead to a total social collapse. I must wipe out the alliance leaders and take control myself. I'll make them change their chairman and keep them under my thumb. Meanwhile, at a convenience store, a man was committing a robbery. "Old man, if you don't want to die, hand over the cash." "I'm not kidding. I'll give you 1 minute." Shaking, the old man took out all the money. "I don't want to kill you, but don't think about calling the cops. If you do, I will never let you off." He then ran out the door, looked around, and took off his mask. It was Huang Yo-min. He thought, what a haul. I won't have to worry about money for a month. As a player, I can live recklessly in the real world, but can I really survive forever in the Angel game? That damn Black Scythe tanked my stats and made me lose all my friends. If I ever see him in real life, I'll definitely kill him. A moment later, he got home, but he saw someone standing right at his door. He asked, "Who are you? Why are you at my house? You must be Huang Yo-min." Hearing that, he got nervous. "Who are you exactly? Are you a cop?" The man laughed and said, "You're pretty tense. Are you using your player status to commit crimes?" "I'm a manager for the PCW Alliance. I received your request to join this morning." Huang Yo-min was totally confused. "What? Invite me? I don't know anything about that." The man froze, thinking Huang Yo-min wasn't Black Scythe. "I'm leaving. Looks like I made a mistake." Huang Yo-min shouted, "At least tell me what's going on. Someone used your name to pose as Black Scythe and sent us an application." Huang Yo-min yelled, "Who the hell dares to impersonate me?" Before he could finish, a whisper came from beside him. "It was me." Huang Yo-min asked, "Why did you do it? Do you know me?" Black Lotus replied, "Of course I know you. In fact, we're quite familiar." Then, shifting his aura, he said, "This should let you know who I am." A massive Scythe appeared. This is the first time I've seen a player use a Scythe in real life. Is he Black Scythe? He doesn't look particularly strong. However, beside him, Huang Yo-min was already frozen with terror. This was a fear carved into his very bones. Huang Yo-min knew for sure he was Black Scythe. "Why did he come for me?" The PCW executive looked at Huang Yo-min. He was just scared. This was the executive's first time meeting Black Scythe. He couldn't feel the terror Huang Yo-min was feeling. "I have no grudge with Black Scythe, so he shouldn't attack me. You're the PCW big shot, right? Tell the guys hiding to come out. You didn't come here alone." "How do you know I brought other players?" Hearing this, a player upstairs raised his hand and smirked. "How did Black Scythe know they were there? Just stay right where you are. Take one more step, and I'll kill you. You're only about 5 feet 9 inches. How could you be Black Scythe? You look so skinny. Are you really Black Scythe?" Black Lotus said, looking at this Scythe. "You should understand. We've heard Black Scythe's weapon is a Scythe, but we've never seen it in person." Black Lotus replied, "And why did you ask if I was him? I just wanted to hear you tell me." "Fine, I'm telling you, I am Black Scythe." The man's face immediately showed shock because his truth rune indicated the other party was telling the truth. The truth rune told him it was all real. That meant the person in front of him was the real Black Scythe, the strongest in the region. The one who spoke earlier finally began to feel terrified. "I really didn't mean to offend you. I thought someone was impersonating you again. You just wanted to confirm my identity to decide whether to kill me." The man's face grew more fearful, wondering how he knew what he was thinking. Trembling, the man said, "I am truly sorry, Mr. Black Scythe." Black Lotus replied, "You don't need to confirm my identity anymore. Mr. Black Lotus, I've already confirmed it. I possess the truth rune. So, you verified that what I said is true. To make up for your insult, take one hit from me, and I'll forgive you. If you can forgive me, I'm willing to take one hit." He instantly cut the man down. The others grew even more terrified. What just happened? I didn't even see him swing that Scythe. So this is the top-ranked man in the region? Even at this distance, I didn't see him move. The PCW executive shouted through his fear, "Black Scythe, what are you doing? We wanted to invite you to join PCW, but it looks like you're not even on the same level as us. Inviting you was a total joke. The man on the other side spoke to the executive via telepathy, saying Black Scythe can't be an ally. We have to kill him. He's level 40. In a direct fight, we don't stand a chance. We'd better pretend to surrender and then ambush him. Possessing a mind-reading rune, Black Lotus smirked. So you're planning to fake a surrender and ambush me? The man panicked. Mr. Black Scythe, we'd never do that. I'm 100% sure you want to surrender and then backstab me. Am I right? Also, do you know why I used Huang Yo Min's identity? Because I wanted to use his name to see you and watch you all die one by one. Clearly, the man didn't expect Black Scythe to be so blunt about wanting to kill him. I have to find a way to stall him. The next moment, the man's face filled with utter collapse. In the blink of an eye, the PCW executive was dead on the floor. Why did he lure us here? We had absolutely nothing to do. We took off his meth. Why are you killed? Shocking the man. Us? This is the first time we met. It is, but I know everything about your alliance. You require players to kill a civilian to join, to reach your level of leadership. Your hands must be stained with dozens of lives. That's why I'm killing you. The man tried to weakly argue. But we're players. They don't respect us at all. Shouldn't these civilians bow to the strong? The weak should obey us. The strong? Doing this only fuels conflict and will trigger a social meltdown. So you have no reason to exist. He swung his scythe without hesitation. What a bunch of self-centered trash. Black Lotus turned his head. Huang Yo-min couldn't stop shaking. Am I going to die? Black Lotus whispered, don't be afraid. I'll send you to see your friends soon. Then the face under the mask was the last person he ever expected. You're the real Black Scythe? Huang Yo-min couldn't believe it. The man he used to trample on at school was actually Black Scythe. He remembered their first meeting in the game. Is that why he's been targeting me? Black Scythe said, I know it's hard to accept, but I am indeed Black Scythe. You have all this power, so why did you keep pretending to let us bully you? Because I was giving you a chance, but instead, you just beat me even harder. As soon as he finished, he sliced off Huang Yo-min's shoulder. I was so stupid to have any hope for you. As a classmate, I'll make sure you die painlessly. Then, he used a healing spell to fix the shoulder, looking at the familiar yet strange. The man spoke up, am I really Black Lotus? I'm not the Black Lotus he used to know. Now, I am the Black Scythe that everyone knows, the one you call the proxy of death. Black Lotus, please spare me. I know I've done so many wrong things. Let me make amends, okay? There's no need for atonement. I can be your slave. I'll follow your orders anytime, anywhere. Just say the word, and I'll do anything. Looking at the Huang Yo-min before me, I won't use you, because you'll just betray me again. He was shocked. How does he know what I'm thinking? Don't kill me. I swear I won't betray you. Before he could say more, one strike ended his life. Only then did Black Scythe slowly speak. I gave you a chance once before. Back then, I didn't have the mind-reading rune to know your true intentions, and you ended up backstabbing me in an angel game. So this time, no matter what, I'm not giving you another chance. I never want to see your disgusting face again. He muttered a command to clear the tracks, and the body on the floor was erased. Next, he had more important things to do. Shortly after, the leader entered the room. Why did you call for me so early? The woman said. By this time, the people sent to find Black Scythe should have been back. I just got word that they all died during the meeting. All of them. Who on earth would do such a thing? Could it be Black Scythe? Yes, it's him. Intelligence suggests he's currently hunting our alliance players. We've barely even had contact with him. He has no reason to target the alliance. I don't get why he's coming for us either. Maybe he just plain dislikes our alliance. He's too arrogant. If he's hunting our players just because he doesn't like us, we must band together to kill him. At first, I thought having him join would make us stronger, but now it's clear he's just a lunatic. Black Scythe is the enemy of this entire alliance. We must avenge our fallen players. But I have one question. How can we be sure the person at this meeting was the real Black Scythe? Because this time there was a witness who saw everything that happened. The PCW executive informed everyone that Black Scythe was hunting them. The chairman and the woman both agreed to be careful. Then the host left the chat room. You're lucky to have escaped Black Scythe. Please get some rest, the executive said. Today was too terrifying, and he really did need to sleep. Once the woman left the room, he noticed they hadn't caught on. With a quiet sound, he dropped his disguise. It was Black Scythe posing as the executive. He chuckled to himself. Looks like he's actually a pretty good actor. After the 5th Angel game ended, he specifically chose the Outlaw's item. It allowed him to perfectly impersonate someone he'd killed. With almost zero flaws, Black Scythe really wanted to kill the chairman and take his place to control the entire alliance. But the joke was on him. The chairman isn't even a player. I'll stay undercover and monitor the alliance. The most important thing now is to gain strength. Restoring the durability of the sleeping Yodo would help him level up faster. It was time to go abroad and find that man. In a forest in England, a man was frenziedly forging a weapon. It was finished in no time, but the man's face was full of worry, even though the weapon was perfect. No one wanted to pay for it. He had poured his entire life savings into this. He told himself he had to make money and keep going. A man must have ambition. He pumped himself up. Though he wasn't a great fighter, the new skill he got in round 5 could increase a weapon's durability and damage. While he was thinking, Black Scythe arrived at his door. Hearing a noise, he turned around and was stunned to see Black Scythe. This was the middle of the woods. Confused, he asked, "Who are you? Are you lost in a forest?" "I'm not lost. Are you the famous blacksmith Daniel? How do you know my name? Have we met?" "This is our first time meeting, but I've heard of you for a long time. I'm a prophet. In my prophetic dreams, I've seen you more than once. Are you a seer?" "That's unbelievable. Your name is Daniel, you're a blacksmith, and you were in the Angel Game Sector C, Taurus Village number 8. The man was shocked and said, "I've never heard of a prophet before. Your existence is incredible. It's only natural to be surprised, since I'm the only prophet. Since your class is so rare, what are you doing here?" Black Scythe said he came for help. "I want you to repair something for me. In exchange, I'll give you info on round 6. Info on round 6? If I knew that in advance, I'd definitely have the upper hand. I'll help you upgrade in items durability, and you give me the info. That trade feels a bit too sneaky. The reason I'm telling you everything about round 6 is that I actually want you to be my friend." Daniel didn't understand what he meant. "In my prophecy, you'll be a high-level blacksmith in the future. Your forging skills will be unmatched, but you'll eventually die in the 15th round. So I want to be your friend. I'll help you get stronger so you can escape death. You're giving me so much info. What do you want from me?" "I just want you to be my brother in arms so we can help each other." Black Scythe found Daniel and said I want to become partners with you. Black Scythe knew Daniel was the only high-level blacksmith in the Angel Game to survive until the 15th round. Partnering with him would be a massive help in the future, but he seemed a bit hesitant. Black Scythe said, "You don't need to worry. I just need you to help me fix my gear occasionally. In return, I'll give you info on every upcoming round. This way you can get stronger faster and minimize any danger." Daniel knew he had no reason to refuse, but could he really trust the man in front of him? Daniel said, "I really appreciate the high praise, but I'd like to wait until the end of round 6 to decide on a partnership. Of course, I can fix your item for you now." Black Lotus then took out the sleeping stone he wanted to repair. "Its durability is at 1. I hope you can fix this." The next moment, the man activated his unique class skill. Blazing fire elements surged into the sleeping stone, and the iron and fire crest of a divine legacy appeared behind him. Before long, Daniel announced it was finished. Black Scythe was stunned. "That crest is the divine descent mark. No wonder the repair was so fast. With this item, my stats will skyrocket in the next round." Seeing Black Lotus's satisfied look, Daniel thought, "I don't know the stats of that necklace, but it must be incredibly valuable to him." Black Lotus looked at Daniel. It seemed he didn't know the stats because, as a blacksmith, he didn't want to pry into a customer's privacy. "Thanks for the repair. I'll give you the round 6 info now." After a moment, Daniel fell into thought. If the monsters are really that strong, I need to find some help. While Daniel was thinking, Black Lotus said, "I'd like to buy something from you. You have some black steel powder with no known use, right?" Daniel was shocked. How does he even know what items I have? Black Lotus calmly said, "Blacksmithing is extremely expensive early. I'm guessing you're pretty short on cash." At this point, Daniel was frozen in shock. He even predicted my financial situation. Daniel said, "Mr. Black Lotus, I'm so sorry. I had a tiny doubt that you were lying." Black Lotus said, "That's a normal concern. Mr. Daniel, I have no ill will toward you. Since the Angel Game started, everyone has to be careful to protect themselves. Daniel said, I'll give you the black steel powder for free. Because you've already given me so much information. Black Scythe was surprised. Then a black cloth box appeared. The item description was just a few words. Dark black powder emitting a faint pulse of magic. Black Scythe was still in shock. He's really just giving this to me? Black steel powder is a very rare material in the mid to late game. This material won't show its true value until round 11. Black Scythe thought he'd gained something way too valuable from Daniel. Are you sure? Daniel said he didn't know what it was for. Only a prophet like he would know. He clearly wanted this, so it must be an extremely rare material. But I've already received so much help. I can't be greedy. Hearing Daniel's thoughts, Black Lotus smiled. Then he said, open it. This is all yours now. Daniel stood there in a daze. A full 1 million pounds. He'd never seen that much money in his life. Black Scythe said, this will solve your material shortage. With this money, you can focus on your artisan skills. Daniel looked at him gratefully. Oh, and one more suggestion. Use some of that money for materials, but use the rest to buy stocks. A stock called Player's World will appear soon. Buy as much as you can. I'm not forcing you. But if you buy this stock, you'll never have to worry about money again. I'll follow your advice, since you gave me this money for free. He then said he hoped they'd have a great partnership. Daniel saved Black Lotus's contact info. See you after the next round. A few days later, the Angel game summoned them again. Black Scythe looked around. It was a vast desert. Other players were being summoned in one by one. Everyone looked anxious. No one knew what the mission was this time. Black Lotus knew he needed teammates. Julie was his first choice. He needed 3 more. As he was thinking, a voice came from behind. Mr. Black Scythe. Julie walked toward him. She happily said, I found you. Right after being summoned. Please look after me again this round. Julie didn't notice the stares from the crowd. People were whispering, who is she? How is she so close to Black Scythe? Everyone was looking at them with envy. Mr. Black Scythe, did you defeat the final boss last round? Black Lotus said, yes. Julie was curious how he did it so quickly. How did you kill the boss? Black Scythe smiled and said, I'm not telling. I won't tell you how I killed the boss, and I also won't tell you what rewards I got. Julie clenched her fists and glared haughtily at Black Scythe. Julie said, I didn't even speak, and you already knew what I wanted to ask. It's like you can read my mind. Black Scythe thought to himself, a woman's sixth sense really is terrifyingly accurate. After saying that, Julie suddenly blushed. How could she talk to Black Scythe like that? It made it sound like Black Scythe was paying a lot of attention to her. Julie kept apologizing for overstepping. Black Scythe was in a great mood and said, I'll take that as a compliment on my observation skills. At this moment, Julie felt relieved. She didn't expect Black Scythe to be such a kind and gentle guy. Nearby, another woman named Sue Alling watched him with confusion. Who was that girl next to Mr. Black Scythe? She then walked toward him to say hello. Black Scythe looked at the two in front of him, his expression turning cold. Is there something you need? Is this girl in your party? Black Scythe's face was indifferent. As he said, I have no obligation to answer your questions. Sue Alling thought, he was just smiling so warmly at that girl. Why is he suddenly so cold to me? Black Scythe stated, we have no reason to work together. He knew they were only approaching him to invite him to join them, and Xianja spoke up, Mr. Black Scythe, we really want to join your team. Why should I let you join? What's in it for me? If you do, we actually have information on the 6th round. If we team up, I'll share everything with you. Black Scythe pretended to consider it seriously, and Xianja was very nervous, not knowing if Black Scythe would agree to his request. Since he made this offer, I have to test him. Black Scythe then said he didn't need info on the 6th round. This shocked Xianja, getting a head start on game. Info should be a huge help to you. I don't know where you got your info, and I can't tell if it's real or fake. I'll fight my own way. However, if you tell me who gave you that info, I'll consider letting you join. He added, just tell me. And the deal is on. It's a fair trade, after thinking it over. And Xianja said, this is a secret. I absolutely cannot reveal it. I'm sorry. Black Scythe was impressed. It seemed Xianja knew how to keep his mouth shut. He wouldn't spread word about the prophet. Just as Xianja was about to leave in disappointment, Black Scythe said, I agreed to let you join a team. And Xianja froze in shock. I appreciate people who can keep a secret. Those kinds of people usually make reliable teammates. And Xianja felt incredibly lucky that he didn't spill anything. We'll work hard for you, and try not to hold you back. Black Scythe said, this is Julie, my exclusive support. Hi, I'm Sue Alling. Julie stood there stunned. She asked, did you change your face? You look just like the superstar Sue Alling. I am that superstar. Hearing this, Julie for joy, and Xianja then asked, Mr. Black Scythe, are you sure you don't need the info for the 6th round? I don't. I can handle whatever comes our way. And Xianja wanted to use the info to get on his good side, but Black Scythe wasn't interested. He then asked Julie what she meant by being an exclusive support. Julie said she could boost player stats, and when the Angel game officially begins, they'd see for themselves. Sue Alling said she could also buff players. Julie asked what kind of buff, and she said it was just a shield. And Xianja realized Black Scythe really liked this girl, so he introduced himself to Julie. Julie said, it looks like you and Black Scythe already knew each other. Looking at Black Scythe in the distance, and Xianja said he saved my life. Julie was even happier, glad that her judgment was right. Black Scythe was actually a gentleman. Right then, the Angel descended. Glad to see you all again. The Angel noted there were 1,100 players in this game. Here is the content of this round. Kill a boss within 6 hours. In the end, only 505 people will survive. Players near Black Scythe started whispering, there's only one boss this time. It must be a tough one. The Angel said, no matter how strong you are, you can't beat this round alone. This is a carefully prepared team match. You need to form a 5-person squad to fight. Players in a team cannot attack each other. Of course, this only applies to your own teammates. You can still attack other teams. Whoever in the squad kills the boss. Everyone will get coins and items based on their damage and contribution. But if you are too far from your squad, you won't get anything. The reward distribution is split fairly. A player asked a question. It's not an even split, but based on the percentage of damage. Of course, if you're lucky enough, you can get items even with low damage. So you mean, even if I only do 1% of the damage, as long as I'm lucky, I can get items? The Angel confirmed. That's right. Support players will also earn contribution based on the buffs they provide. Those are the rules for item distribution. If you can't find teammates to group with, only death awaits you. In other words, as long as the squad defeats a boss, all 5 of us survive this round. A total of 101 bosses will spawn. That's all the info for the 6th round. The rest is up to you. Black Scythe looked at the Angel. He made it. Sounds so easy. Only Black Scythe knew this round wouldn't be that simple to complete. The next moment, the countdown notification rang in everyone's ears. And Xianja knew this was exactly what the prophet said. You need a 5-person team to play. I'm so glad I joined Black Scythe's team. I'll definitely survive this round. And Xianja said, we have 4 players now. Black Scythe said he already had a 5th person in mind. Everyone was surprised. You already chose a teammate that fast. Black Scythe smiled. He should be around here. If that, nearby, he could pretend it was a chance encounter to get him to join. Everyone else was getting busy too. They had to form a 5-man squad, where they wouldn't stand a chance in the raid. People scrambled to send out team requests, terrified that if they waited, all the strong players would be taken. Some even shouted that they'd give up all their loot just to be carried. At the same time, most eyes were on Black Scythe. Since a team was mandatory, everyone thought they had a shot at working with him. Within moments, someone couldn't resist and walked up to him. Mr. Black Scythe, we don't need any items or loot. Can we please join your team? But before he could even finish, Black Scythe flatly declined. The two had to back away awkwardly, worrying whether they'd survive this round. Black Scythe originally planned to pick just anyone to finish the mission, but now he wanted teammates who could grow alongside him. A crowd of players kept watching him. One after another, they begged to join, but they were all met with cold rejections. Everyone else looked on with envy at the players, already by his side. They'd definitely survive under his protection. And Xianja was also curious about who Black Scythe would choose as the final member. If Mr. Ma Tianlu were here, I'd definitely recommend him. Julie was also thinking that if He Lian were here, he'd be on the team too. As they were thinking, footsteps approached from behind. Mr. Black Scythe, long time no see. Everyone turned around. It's great to see you in the 6th round. Black Scythe joked, I thought you got eaten by those orcs in round 5. Zhao Yonhao laughed. I had your help, Mr. Black Scythe. Our team managed to clear the 5th round quickly. Thanks so much for saving my brother back then. He called his teammate over, who said if it weren't for Mr. Black Scythe, he would have died in the 5th round. He did a great job clearing the mission with a shoulder injury. Zhao Yonhao noticed Black Scythe was looking for teammates. Don't get me wrong, I'm not here to ask to join your team. I've already got one. Black Scythe saw the golden chain on his arm, proving he was already in a squad. I just came to thank you. And I have a suggestion. I'd like our teams to form an alliance. We want to be of use to you. My whole team wants to repay you, Mr. Black Scythe. Black Scythe thought for a second. I appreciate the offer, but I don't need any help right now. Zhao Yonhao insisted they didn't want any loot. They just wanted to repay the favor. Black Scythe said he didn't want to make a simple mission too complicated. We really just want to show our gratitude for saving our lives. Black Scythe stopped refusing and said if he ever needed anything, he'd let them know. Zhao Yonhao looked satisfied. Just call us for anything. He then said goodbye, bowing deeply once more in gratitude before leaving. I've already decided on the 5th player. Black Scythe pointed to the left. Everyone turned to look. It's that player named Ai Weiwei. That's right. I'm talking to you. Hearing this, a man nervously walked toward Black Scythe. I noticed you watching me from the side for a while. Why were you staring? Ai Weiwei said, I wanted to join your team. I'm level 23, and my class is Dark Mage. Black Scythe said he was our 5th teammate. The man couldn't believe it. It was really that easy for me to join the team? The others were also shocked. Black Scythe had rejected many powerful players but chose this weak-looking guy instead. While no one understood, only Black Scythe knew that in the future, this man would be the founder of the Church of the Deaf God and his most fanatical follower. Since he's a fanatical follower, building a friendship early was a good move. He then had everyone gathered together. As their palms stacked, a golden glow flared, and the golden chains of a successful party appeared on their arms. At that moment, Ai Weiwei was still in disbelief. Mr. Black Scythe actually let me join him. I will definitely give my life for him. As Black Scythe invited him, the fanatical Ai Weiwei vowed to lay down his life for him. In the past, Ai Weiwei was always an overlooked nobody. Since high school, he was bullied by his classmates every day. They even joked that they were his friends, but being their friend cost money. His parents had passed away in an accident when he was young, and he lived with his elderly grandmother. He had no money at all, but those classmates wouldn't let him off easily, saying, we just want the money. Whether you steal it or rob someone, we don't care. They even threatened that if he didn't pay, they might send his grandmother to her grave. His grandmother was his only hope. He would risk his life to protect his only relative, but he had no power. Every time he fought back, he only faced endless beatings and harsher bullying. He wanted to die more than once, but logic told him that if he died, no one would be left to care for her. He endured such a high school life for 3 long years. He thought things would get better once he got into college. But he didn't expect the angel to appear and announce the apocalypse. He worried that, if he died, what would happen to his grandmother? Luckily, he survived to the 3rd round. But one day, the moment he returned home, he found his only relative had been killed, and the killers were those 3 punks who bullied him in high school. Ai Weiwei didn't understand why they treated him this way. He just wanted to live a normal life. Rage and grief surged. In the next moment, a swordsman with black flames pierced through the crowd. The black flames completely corroded their lives the instant they touched them. From that day on, the man began to go insane. The angel's game can ultimately grant wishes. I must become the strongest to bring my grandmother back to me. With that mindset, he began to fight. He took the top spot in the region every time. But until the 3rd round, he realized the top spot was always held by a player named Black Scythe. The first time he saw Black Scythe, he had defeated 9 regional representatives all by himself and looked completely at ease. At that moment, I realized, this is the strength I've been chasing. What do I need to do to become as powerful as Black Scythe? If I were that strong, I could definitely win this game and bring my family back. When Black Scythe invited him to join, he could hardly believe it. He had truly become a member of Black Scythe's team. He then stated he was a level 23 Dark Mage with the skills Dark Vision and Dark Chains. Looking at Black Scythe in front of him, he prayed silently that he wouldn't be seen as a burden. Black Scythe's expression didn't change as he said, we can set out now. Julie spoke up, wait a moment then. Cast a blessing status on everyone. A notification appeared, all attributes increased by 60%. The skill duration was 3 hours. Next, she released Celerity, likewise increasing attack and movement speed by 60%. Celerity's duration was 30 minutes. This move left everyone around her completely stunned. Sue Allen was in a daze. Such incredible support abilities. Is this why she can stay by Black Scythe's side? Snapping out of it, Sue Allen said she would also do her best to help and summoned a spirit bird. It looked very cute, making Julie unable to resist wanting to pet it. Sue Allen explained she was a summoner. The spirit bird's ability was to provide protective shields. Then, she channeled her power. Again, stones began to aggregate from all directions into the void. This was her level 20 skill, Rock Golem. Though it lacked strong offensive power, it could taunt monsters. Black Scythe then said, now, let's head out and begin the mission. Ai Weiwei was shocked. Is this Black Scythe's team? Their support and utility are incredibly powerful. Shortly after, the group appeared in a desert. Ai Weiwei heard intense fighting. Nearby, he leaped onto a sand dune to scout, then jumped back down. A 3-meter-tall centaur warrior was roaring. The surrounding players seemed excited. They hadn't expected to find the first treasure so easily. Without hesitation, they charged at the centaur warrior. However, the centaur's strength was immense. Upon contact of players, longsword was sent flying. The man retreated and drew a spare weapon, shouting, "We can't take him head on. We need to split up and wear him down." A woman yelled, "How? What's the plan?" The man shouted back, "Every time the centaur attacks, we strike from his rear." Black Scythe watched from afar, noting their coordination was decent, but their strategy was wrong. In the next instant, the man attempting a rear ambush was kicked away by a hoof. Black Scythe watched coldly. Those hind legs were the most powerful part, although the centaur warrior was strong and incredibly fast, because the archer and the sword-controlling woman were ranged attackers. The centaur's HP eventually hit rock bottom after a long battle. It finally collapsed before the random squad. Ai Weiwei was startled. Did they just kill the boss? Does that make them first in this game? The random squad was thrilled. It was the first time they had finished a mission so quickly. Ai Weiwei asked. They killed the boss. Are we just going to keep waiting here? Ai Weiwei hadn't expected the battle to end so fast and worried that Mr. Black Scythe would be disappointed. He was surprised by how Tom Black Scythe appeared. Meanwhile, the random squad suddenly panicked. Did you guys get a mission completion notification? I didn't get any news. What's happening? We clearly healed the centaur warrior. They finally realized. Black Scythe already knew that the centaur wasn't the boss. The true boss was a berserk minotaur. The minotaur was far stronger than average players, requiring over 20 level 20 players to defeat it. This meant at least 4 teams were needed. This was the trap set by the angel. By setting 5-man squads, they misled people into thinking 5 players could successfully kill the boss. There was another trap. Once a 5-man team killed a centaur, they would be rooted in place, unable to do anything for a short time. Black Scythe looked quietly at Ai Weiwei, then observed the others' reactions. It seemed they were all trying to gather game intel. He cleared his throat. I'm going to implement my strategy. This brought the others back to their senses. Black Scythe explained that, based on the random squad's expressions, what they killed was not the leader. We should focus on the centaur warriors for now. The decision to farm centaur warriors for XP shocked everyone. I believe that, as long as all 5 people don't attack the centaur, it won't trigger the lock-in effect. Just stay with me. Keep within a 100-meter range to enjoy the XP bonus. I'll solo the centaur warriors. If we kill them together too early, we'll just be trapped waiting for the real boss. That would just waste our leveling time in this round. And Xianzhou was stunned that Black Scythe could analyze this round's rules so quickly. Ai Weiwei noted that if they proceeded this way, the first place ranking might be stolen by others. Black Scythe replied, even if first place is taken, we can gain massive levels this round. Besides, rankings aren't necessarily decided solely by the order of kills. And Xianzhou stood frozen. Black Scythe actually suspected that the round might not follow a first kill ranking. Julie asked, soloing a centaur is too dangerous. Do you really not need our help? Just stay close to me. Leave everything else to me. Sue Ellen couldn't believe it. A 5-man squad just barely managed to kill a centaur. Could Black Scythe really solo them? Conversely, Ai Weiwei believed Black Scythe's words completely. I don't have to do anything except enjoy the XP. In exchange, all monster drops belong to me. Ai Weiwei agreed. We'll follow your lead and stay right behind you. This enthusiasm surprised the others. Ai Weiwei was a bit too eager regarding Black Scythe. Black Scythe then said, keep up with me now. Get ready to move. In the next moment, everyone was left standing there. They couldn't believe it. How could he be so fast? In an instant, Black Scythe had already run dozens of meters. Stop dazing. Someone yelled, let's catch up to Black Scythe. Black Scythe's form seemed to fly across the desert, leaving only an afterimage in his wake. Behind him, the others could only chase after him, completely wiped out. Julie couldn't help but wonder, just how high is Mr. Black Scythe's agility stat? How can he be so fast? Ai Weiwei, despite being a dark mage, had always thought his own speed was pretty solid. Thanks to his class traits, the Black Scythe's speed was insane. Suddenly, Ai Weiwei froze and shouted, Mr. Black Scythe, look out, a centaur is ambushing from a left. Black Scythe acted like he didn't hear a thing, his speed not slowing for a second as he charged. In the next instant, Black Scythe suddenly vanished and reappeared behind the centaur. The creature was taken down in less than a second. By the time the others caught up, they only saw the centaur's corpse hitting the ground. Shock and fear filled their faces. What just happened? Is this the true power of the #1 ranked player? They couldn't even track his movements. More centaurs appeared across the desert, but Black Scythe swung his dark blade without mercy. Every monster in his path died in rapid succession. At this moment, Black Scythe moved like a tireless machine. Every strike marked the fall of another centaur. As corpses littered the ground, system notifications chimed. Triple XP bonus active, title XP bonus, plus 150%, kill count, 172 sandstorm cloud, effect active, all attributes increased by 100%. Black Scythe frowned slightly, only 172 kills in 30 minutes, 2,000 centaurs had been spawned across the entire zone. At this rate, I can clear them all in 6 hours. However, other teams would also kill some. Just then, he heard heavy panting behind him. The others finally caught up, their faces showing total exhaustion. It seemed he needed to stop and let them rest. We'll take a 10-minute break, Julie admitted. Just keeping up with your speed is a real struggle. Everyone collapsed. This had truly been a wake-up call. Staying within 100 meters of Black Scythe was brutal work. Julie's eyes shone with admiration. Mr. Black Scythe's speed is incredible, and he still takes down centaurs with such ease. Seeing Julie's flushed cheeks, Black Scythe gave her a doting look. Should I slow down a little? Before Julie could answer, Ai Weiwei spoke up. Mr. Black Scythe, you are the most terrifying person I've ever met. Just then, footsteps echoed from behind. Dozens of players had banded together and were approaching Black Scythe's group. His teammates immediately went on alert as the atmosphere turned tense. Black Scythe's expression grew icy as the large crowd of players drew near. In the midst of the heavy silence, a man stepped forward with a fawning smile. It's an honor to find you here. Black Scythe remained cold. What do you want? I'm looking for a partnership. Before the man could finish, Black Scythe cut him off. I don't need help from anyone. The man was startled. Mr. Black Scythe, your strength is unquestionable, but this boss is unbelievably strong. Look over there. He pointed toward a distant sand dune. That Minotaur is the round 6 boss. It's as massive as a hill. It's not something a single team can fight. A random squad just looked at it and was wiped out within a minute. Seeing that, I realized a 5-man team can't possibly clear this. Black Scythe replied flatly. I have no interest in participating with you. The man became nervous. We don't need any loot. We'll even give you the final kill. Black Scythe's eyes turned sharp. I don't want to repeat my answer 3 times. Panic-stricken, the man hurried back to his group, shouting, sorry to bother you. Back with his team, he looked awkward. No matter how I asked, Black Scythe refused. He rejected everyone. They don't get it. Black Sickle has to kill it, but does he really think he can pull this off all by himself? They all watched him. The Minotaur standing nearby was terrifying, but we definitely need to take this thing down together. Come on, let's move. With heavy hearts, the group approached the Minotaur. Once they got within 20 meters, they were spotted. The Minotaur looked back with a murderous glare. The 20-man squad didn't expect the Minotaur to be so alert. It charged toward them at top speed. The squad panicked. This monster was actually coming for them. After a brief moment of fear, they quickly got into battle stances and started to surround it. Black Sickle, meanwhile, leaped onto a sand dune. He was curious how long it would take 20 people to finish this. To Black Sickle, Minotaurs weren't particularly difficult monsters. Their attack and defense stats were insane, but their speed was way lower than most other monsters. Experienced players could dodge them easily while striking back, even though its defense was massive. As long as everyone kept up a steady stream of attacks, they could keep it on the defensive. Basically, if you lack raw power, you make up for it with speed. Finally, a player charged a skill into his long axe. This one hit drained most of his mana. With a gust of wind, it slammed into the Minotaur's chest. After a full 10 minutes of being swarmed by 20 people, its defense finally broke. Everyone got hyped and rushed in. A rain of attacks targeted its chest. One player tried to get greedy and land some extra damage, but that one extra swing was his downfall. The Minotaur grabbed him and crushed him instantly as the final fireball struck. The Minotaur let out one last defiant roar, and its mountain-like body finally collapsed. At that exact moment, a light barrier enveloped one player, followed by 4 others being shielded. The boss was finally dead. It looks like completing the quest triggers a protective barrier. The group was confused. Do we just wait here until the game ends? It seems the others have to keep grouping up to find new bosses. The man couldn't help but look back. Should I try to invite him one more time? He decided against it, figuring Black Sickle wouldn't join anyway. Later, Black Sickle confirmed our theory. Taking on the boss too early would have wasted a lot of time. We need to pick up the pace. You guys have to keep up with me. The second he said that, Black Sickle dashed off at an insane speed. Time flew by, and more players were being protected by barriers, relieved they survived this round. Right then, a player shouted, "Is that Black Sickle?" He was charging toward a centaur. With a casual swing, he actually one-shot the thing. Everyone around was stunned. You need at least 5 people in a squad to take down a centaur. The random players couldn't wrap their heads around his power. He should have finished long ago. Finishing now won't help him get a higher rank. I thought he'd stay in first place, but I guess nobody can stay on top forever. At that moment, the last centaur was killed. A notification popped up. No more centaurs found. Out of 2,000 centaurs in the area, he had killed 1,920. There were only 20 minutes left in the game. I've basically wiped out all of them. Julie, panting for air, asked if they could take a break. Keeping up with Mr. Black Sickle was exhausting. The centaur hunt is officially over. Now we can take our time fighting the boss, Julie asked while catching her breath. You mean we don't have to hunt centaurs anymore? According to my tracking skill, every centaur in this area has been eliminated, and Xianja instinctively checked his stats. He screamed in disbelief. Everyone, check your levels right now. They were all stunned. Their levels had skyrocketed. Black Sickle asked, "What's your level now?" I was level 20, now I'm 34. A crowd of Zulars have already got 34. Some of Julie hit 35, and Ivy couldn't believe she was already level 36. Without any experience boosts, they had all jumped 13 to 14 levels. With his 4x experience boost, he had also gained 14 levels, reaching level 54. He got 19 mana stones, 9 pieces of basic gear, and some other items. Plus, he got a shiny ponytail, a material needed for crafting artifact. He could feel a faint magical pulse from it. Not only did my level go up, but I also got a ton of gold. Everyone had roughly 110,000 gold, and Xianja was beaming with joy. It was his first time having that much money. Black Sickle told them it was best to spend the gold on essential skills. Tracking, enhanced vision, and interference skills are all must-haves. Hearing this, Ivy didn't hesitate to buy everything Black Sickle mentioned, dropping 60,000 gold in one go. Now that everyone is ready, we should head out to kill the ManhWa chief. Black Sickle activated his tracking skill and dashed north. A moment later, he stopped. Notice Black Sickle's arrival. Mr. Black Sickle, are you here for the Minotaur too? Join our squad so we can fight together. I don't plan on cooperating with anyone. I'll take the chief down alone. The crowd started whispering. I know Black Sickle is strong, but even he can't face it solo, right? Mr. Black Sickle, it takes a squad of at least 20 to kill a chief. Doing it by yourself. You're being too arrogant, Black Sickle replied coldly. You think I'm arrogant? Don't lump me in with the rest of you. I didn't mean it like that. I just think we'd have a better chance together. To me, one person or 20 makes no difference. It's like comparing one ant to 20 ants. No difference at all. Gripping the Reaper's Lotus, he walked toward the chief. Julie called out, Mr. Black Sickle, are you really going to be okay? He replied, I'll be back in no time. Then, under everyone's gaze, he walked toward the boss. The players who finished their quests watched his every move. Is he really? Can one man really do it? There are at least 100 people around watching me. This is my chance to prove my strength to them, as long as I can. Kill the Minotaur chief at top speed. They will respect and fear me even more. Watching the Minotaur chief wander back and forth, Black Sickle began to activate his skills. At that same moment, the Minotaur chief sensed a dangerous aura and looked toward Black Sickle. Black Sickle dropped into a crouch to charge up, his Reaper's blade crackling with energy. The crowd saw this and realized he was about to unleash a massive skill. He calculated the strike distance. Once the Minotaur stepped into his range, Black Sickle wouldn't hesitate to let it fly. The Minotaur chief kept huffing and roaring. Then it charged at Black Sickle, looking to crush him. Black Sickle took a firm step back with his right foot. Just as the chief got within a meter, he triggered Death's Knight. The chief's senses vanished instantly, and Black Sickle's Reaper's Lotus was fully charged. Moonlight Ruin Slash. Several half-moon-shaped shockwaves hurled forward. By the time the attack reached the Minotaur chief, it still hadn't sensed a thing. In a flash, the Moonlight Ruin Slash sliced clean through its neck. The chief couldn't even let out a whimper before its head and body were separate. Everything happened. Black Sickle actually one-shot the Minotaur chief. The spectators couldn't believe it. The Minotaur was killed just like that. Their faces were full of pure shock. They couldn't even see how he did it. But Black Sickle's expression didn't change at all. This was exactly what he expected. A notification sounded. You defeated the Minotaur. Obtained 1 piece of Minotaur hide and the Minotaur armor blueprint. The hide is essential for high-level gear, and the blueprint is a rare find. Selling these two together would definitely fetch a high price. What is wrong with you guys? Blacksicle's voice snapped everyone back to reality. Ivy stared with total admiration. Mr. Blacksicle, you are literally my. That look in Ivy's eyes made him uncomfortable. He thought to himself, I'm not into guys. At that exact moment, a light barrier enveloped Blacksicle. An angelic voice echoed from the sky. Any squad that failed the quest well, the eliminated, hell's for trash, so disappear, then the filled players were wiped out. Next up is the fun part, the rankings. Overall region number 1 is Blacksicle. Global region number 1 is also Blacksicle. The moment the rankings appeared, players nearby yelled out, but we were the first squad to kill a Minotaur Chief. So what if you were the first to kill it? I never said the ranking was based on hill speed this time. Seeing the confusion, the angel explained that this round was actually ranked by the slowest kill speed. This round tested who could wait until the very last second to kill the boss and win. Blacksicle killing it in 1 minute was impressive enough. Upon hearing this, a player spoke up. Actually, it didn't take Blacksicle a minute. The angel looked puzzled. It wasn't a minute. The angel instinctively looked at the leaderboard. It was actually 1 second. The angel was speechless. How is that possible? A moment later, the angel quickly hid the panicked expression. I can't let myself look like this in front of these humans. Then, with a slightly nervous tone, the angel said, seems like this boss wasn't strong enough. Meanwhile, Blacksicle looked at his rewards panel. An epic helmet selection voucher and an overall region special treasure chest. He clicked to redeem the voucher. He could choose one of 3 items. Blacksicle decisively chose the Hermes helmet because it had a special skill, invisibility. It has a 30-minute cooldown, and this will be a massive help to me. Even though it doesn't mask sound, combined with my stealth cloak, I can move completely silently. Then he opened the chest and chose the material reward. He knew exactly how to use every item. At this stage, he needed golden powder. Mandatory material for crafting god-tier gear. Angel's golden powder comes from angel hair, the powder. The notification rang, rewards claimed, round, over. Ma Tianlu just returned from the Angels game. Before he could even settle in, and Xianzhe's voice came from outside. What are you doing? At my place? I just got back from the game. Your level must have gone up a lot, since you were with Blacksicle squad for 6 hours. I'm curious how many levels you gained for you to be this excited to confine me. And Xianzhe said he went from level 20 to 34. Ma Tianlu froze for a moment. Did you say level 34? Your level jump really surprises me. I'm just a shock myself, just trying to keep up. With Blacksicle was a struggle. His power is beyond belief. I never dreamed I'd gain this many levels. I didn't think your level would actually surpass mine. I'm only at level 29, and Xianzhe told him to calm down. It seems like my level is not only higher than yours, but probably higher than Su Aling's too. Go on, was Blacksicle really that fast? Blacksicle killed the Minotaur Chief in just 1 second. Ma Tianlu saw the leaderboard too, but he still couldn't believe it. And Xianzhe said Blacksicle used a skill he'd never seen before, and his speed was just a blur. Ma Tianlu's expression became incredibly serious. This was the gap between him and Blacksicle. His dark night class was undeniably strong, but he still couldn't keep up. I have to level up faster. Lately, I need to focus on replenishing my dark mana. Blacksicle really puts a lot of pressure on me. Oh right, go find the prophet and ask when I can meet him. Mr. Ma, do you think the prophet can survive this round? That's for you to find out. Don't ask me. Ma Tianlu stared blankly out the window and muttered, Blacksicle, I will surpass you eventually. Meanwhile, Ivy lay in bed, unable to calm down for a long time. Blacksicle's power was burned into her memory. In Ivy's eyes, Blacksicle was like an invincible god. She felt frustrated as she was useless in the game and couldn't help Mr. Blacksicle at all. I really want to be useful to him. Mr. Blacksicle is basically a deity. What would someone like, and even need, a god needs followers. Having just returned, Blacksicle couldn't stop. Someone as wild as she like. Me? Right then his phone rang. He picked it up and saw an international number. Then Daniel's voice came through. Daniel excitedly thanked Blacksicle. If it weren't for your warning, I'd be dead. He had already booked a flight and would be by Blacksickle's side soon. Blacksicle was shocked. This didn't happen in his past life. He then said Daniel was welcome to visit anytime. The next day, Daniel and Blacksicle met. Blacksicle noted that he sounded incredibly hyped on the phone. Of course. But first, let's sit and talk. Looking at the amazing spread of food, it had been a long time since he had such a good meal. Blacksicle said to eat as much as he wanted. Daniel insisted on paying. After all, you saved my life. If you really want to, repay me and help me restore my gear's durability. Daniel didn't hesitate and instantly hopped off Blacksickle's gear. Blacksicle asked, what did you mean by saving your life? I followed your advice and spent 6 hours leveling up. I barely survived killing the Minotaur. If I hadn't listened to you, I'd be a goner. I'm glad I could help. I can't believe I'm currently the highest level blacksmith in the game, so I'm here to join your team. Scythe welcomed him, saying it would help him become the world's best blacksmith faster. By the way, did you invest in the company I mentioned? Daniel said he put 70% of his money in. I didn't even know what that company did, but I trust your judgment. A moment later, in front of the company building, Scythe said, I'm glad you trust me, but I should tell you what we do. This is a company for players. It will become a massive trading platform. This company will eventually be the world's #1 player platform. Since it's so big, is it okay to just walk right in? Scythe said, while I'm not the CEO, I control this place. It used to be an international trade firm, but I turned it into a player platform. Look, I'm just a simple guy. I don't get all that. I trust you completely. Let's head to the office and talk. The moment Scythe appeared, the receptionist looked uneasy, and Xianzhou was guarding the office door and asked with some surprise, Mr. Scythe, what are you doing here? Scythe said he needed to see Ma Tianlu and wanted to introduce his friend, and Xianzhou stammered that Mr. Ma was seeing a guest. Scythe realized Ma Tianlu must have told him not to let anyone in, and Xianzhou's loyalty was 100%, so who was Ma Tianlu meeting? And Xianzhou was panicking internally. Why did Scythe have to show up when Ma Tianlu's fiancé was here? With his mind-reading rune, Scythe was surprised his fiancé, so that woman is here. Ma Tianlu rushed out and asked why he came. That's a weird question. Can I come to my own company? Ma Tianlu said. He didn't mean it like that. Scythe knew that in Ma Tianlu's eyes, he was just a useful human. Deep down he looked down on him. Ma Tianlu kept apologizing, saying he could come anytime, but usually he gave notice. This is Christine. She's a friend. Scythe knew Christine was a priest, a hidden class. She had average healing skills, and was the only one to reach round 15 with Julie in his past life. Though her healing was basic, at level 60 she would get a powerful skill. Life Resurrection. It can revive players who have been dead. Less than 10 minutes. I didn't expect to see her here. Scythe thought he had to get her to round 20. Hearing Ma Tianlu call her a friend, Scythe asked, is she really just a friend? Hello Christine, I'm Mr. Ma's business partner. Christine said it was the first she'd heard of Ma Tianlu having a partner. Scythe said it was his first time knowing Mr. Ma had such a beautiful fiancé. Ma Tianlu was terrified. The prophet even knew she was his fiancé. He nervously asked, you even know about Christine? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to hide it from you. I get why you'd want to, but as your partner, I don't want you lying to me. Ma Tianlu was kicking himself for being so stupid. Christine was also surprised. It was her first time seeing Ma Tianlu act so humble. It was shocking to her. Scythe ignored her and told Daniel to wait a bit. He was about to share the info for the 7th round. Ma Tianlu finally snapped out of it and told Christine that this man was his partner and a co-owner. He's also the company's decision maker. Then he looked at Scythe, who nodded and added that he's a prophet. Christine was confused. Are you kidding? A prophet? I'm surprised too, but like Mr. Ma said, I have a unique ability. I can tell you how to win the game. She asked Ma Tianlu if he was joking. Ma Tianlu said his predictions were always spot on. Why are you telling me your secret? Scythe said it was because he was going to tell them the trick to clearing the 7th round. I don't want anything in return. Christine couldn't believe it. Scythe knew that without proof, she'd never trust him. The info for the 7th round is simple. Do not let temptation deceive you. Ma Tianlu was stunned. Is that really all? Got it. You need to burn these words into your brain like a mantra. Do not let temptation deceive you. That's all it takes. Christine, here's one more prophecy I need to tell you in private. Honestly, the main reason I came to the company was to see you. My prophetic power told me I'd meet you here, and in the visions I've seen, you're going to die in the 11th round. I'm going to die in the 11th round? So you're saying I only have a year left to live? You got it. But I can change the course of your life and help you survive. Hey. Moment later, on the plane, Christine couldn't stop thinking about what Scythe said. Is my life really coming to an end? Is he actually legit? It's a good thing my dad wasn't there, or he'd definitely chew me out for worrying about some baseless superstition. But that prophet also said he'd save me in the 11th round. Yet when I asked him how, he said he didn't even know. The prophecy is way too vague. He doesn't even know how to save me, but he's claiming he will. Soon, the plane landed. Jeffrey, why are you at the airport to pick me up? Christine, did you have a good trip? Someone told me to come get you and bring you to see Father. That's weird. I just got off the plane. Why is he in such a rush to see me? The man knocked on the door. Father, Christine is Back. Christine, are you satisfied with the trip? How did Ma Tianlu do? He acted the same as always, but Christine seemed a bit hesitant. Her father asked, did he do something disrespectful? Some annoying outsider? Fate is something even he can't fully control. His serious face suddenly turned into an excited grin. Christine quickly denied it. It's not what you think, father. You've been dating for 6 months. Haven't you made any progress? Christine felt awkward and said, we don't even have an emotional foundation yet, so it won't be that smooth. Listen, Christine, your father only wants what's best for you. My husband's massive international influence. Marrying him comes with a lot of perks. Christine said she understood, but she always felt like Ma Tianlu was hiding something. He seems to have secrets. What has he even been doing lately? He's prepping some business projects. Even after becoming the player, he's still figuring out ways to make money. Daughter, you are chosen by God and given the divine power to heal anything. Christine looked at the energy slowly releasing from her hand. Is this power really a gift from God? I truly believe it's a blessing from above. Christine, you are God's favorite. Father, I've told you more than once, the angels in the game aren't what you think. They're just demons with wings. Obviously, her father didn't buy it and asked if Ma Tianlu could use the power God gave him. He's already reached level 29. At level 29, he's working with another guy to build a player social platform. That arrogant guy even has a partner. I don't remember the partner's name, but his partner is a prophet. He gave us the info to clear the 7th round and said some things that are currently impossible to verify. In this era, the power of prophecy is incredibly valuable. Why didn't you get closer to this man? Because he said I might face a life or death crisis. Her father was shocked, seeing how worried he was. Christine told him not to stress. It's just a prophecy that might not even be true. Nowadays, anyone could pose as a prophet, so she was still pretty skeptical of his words. The man said, Christine, you need to find more allies. I don't need to look for allies. Father, did you forget I'm a regional representative? Most players would gladly stay by my side to protect me. Still, Christine, you need to stay sharp about this. I know, father. I'll be careful. Jeffrey watched his sister leave. A moment later, her father whispered, Jeffrey, Ma Tianlu's partner is a prophet. He said my daughter is going to die. That makes me very unhappy. Jeffrey, go spy on this prophet. If you find out he's a fake, then send him straight to hell. Christine's father sent his son to monitor Black Lotus. If he's a fraud, kill him immediately. Meanwhile, over at PCW, they were getting ready for a meeting. The man smiled. You're early, Miss Yami. Just as he said that, the notification for the chairman entering the room rang. Then the man said, you two are right. On time. Let's start. The agenda is choosing players to join PCW. Jock, what's your take? Select 30 players with the highest levels from the applicants. These 30 will need to undergo testing for the final selection of the 5 most qualified players to join management. Next item, the Congress of Montreal is looking for new candidates. The candidates they choose will likely restrict the growth of our PCW. We need to consider how to deal with them. Those are the 2 items I needed to notify you about. The next morning, Black Lotus never expected the player's land trading site to be so popular. In just one single night, tens of thousands of people have registered and listed their items on the platform for sale. Looking at the various rare materials, the way to get materials for crafting future gear just got much easier. It's enough to craft 3 unique quality pieces of equipment. He then picked out the items he needed. Mana stones are currently only 200,000 each. The next moment, he bought all the items he needed without hesitation. 2 days later, Black Lotus's brother mumbled that his brother seemed too busy lately. The moment he opened the door, he was stunned. How are there so many packages? Seeing this, Black Lotus told him not to make such a big deal out of it. These are all things I need as a player. His brother couldn't believe it. Do you really need that many? In a short while, a massive pile of gems was stacked in the living room. Black Lotus thought to himself that this should be enough for fusion. For every 15 low-level stones, 1 top-tier stone can be fused. Soon, all the stones began to glow, and the notification sound followed. Fusion successful. The successful fusion. Notifications kept chiming. He had now fused all his gems to the highest tier. What he needed to do now was socket them into his gear. He then socketed a red gem into his weapon, increasing damage by 16%. Socketing complete. Hermes helmet. Strength increased by 32. Armor. Luck increased by 43. Moments later, all the gems were socketed. His visible stats were all around 200. If he combined the rune bonuses with Julie's buffs, he could reach a total bonus of around 2,000. When the final piece of gauntlets was equipped, a notification sounded. 7 top-tier gems equipped. Rainbow effect activated. Hidden attribute. Rainbow aura. All status resistance increased by 50%. Black Lotus smiled slightly. With all resistances combined, he had reached 82% resistance. This meant he could nullify abnormal status effects 82% of the time. It's crazy to think he had cornered the market on gems across the entire trading platform. He knew that later on, these would be worth 20 million each. He had to take advantage of the early stage to fully deck out all his gear, with gems as much as possible. Looking at the remaining items, he'd organized them after reaching level 60. Since he had such a huge advantage with the trading platform, he needed to keep an eye out for special materials. The next moment, a look of shock appeared on Black Lotus's face. Immortal skin is an essential item for upgrading legendary gear. In the Angel game, equipment ranks are normal, uncommon, epic, and then unique. Legendary is the level above that, with the highest being God tier. Equipment of epic rank and above can only be obtained through upgrading. Average players can only buy up to epic rank at most. The higher the grade of material, the stronger the monster you must kill. He couldn't help but. Someone could actually get legendary materials at this stage. With a skeptical attitude, he went to purchase it. Immortal skin. This item drops from the 5th round Orc Chieftain, but the drop rate is pitifully low. Did this person really kill? The Orc can get this item. The next moment, Black Lotus seemed to remember something. Could it be that person? Memories of someone strong enough to kill the Orc. He has the item trade attribute. If it's really that guy listing the item, this could very well be a trap. The guy's requirement is a face-to-face trade, so it's almost certainly a trap. But I have to get this material. He then sent a message to the other party and requested a meeting location. Once the meeting was set, Black Lotus smiled. This guy really treats others like prey, using high-value items to lure players, only to kill them and steal their gear. I need to go see him before he hurts any more players. Meanwhile, the man who received the trade request looked speechless. My price was 1 million, and he actually wants me to lower it. Does he not know what rank this item is? I got this by killing the 5th round boss. At the time, I thought I was going to die at the boss's hands. However, even though the item's rank is extremely rare, I still haven't figured out its specific use. The buyer should know. When I meet him, I'm going to make him suffer. Right then, another player who came to trade was on the ground begging for mercy. A man Dane and said, I didn't expect you to be so broke. Out of everything you offered, only this weapon is barely worth looking at. Without any hesitation, he delivered a fatal blow to the man. What a disappointment. You wasted so much of my time. I hope the next player who comes to trade is more interesting. Since he was a kid, the man felt that life was too boring. Nothing could pique his interest. He once tried focusing on his studies, but it was always too easy for him to become the top student in his class. Eventually, he gave up on studying. When his grades dropped, his parents lashed out at him. From that day on, the man found his own fun. While being berated, the man killed his parents. This twisted sense of excitement drove the man into madness after killing his parents. Because he was so young, he ultimately escaped legal punishment, but the man did not turn over a new leaf. Instead, he became a psychopathic serial killer until the Angel game arrived. The man became even more obsessed with the feeling of killing, having the drop rune. The man obtained a large number of high-value items. What drove him further into madness was the 4th round of the game, where players fought each other. This made the man spiral completely. Addicted to the thrill of killing, the man wanted the real world to become a battlefield. He began luring players in reality. The man before him was the 7th player he had killed. Picking up the body from the ground, he said, I need to prepare for my 8th player. He then dragged the body toward a nearby dumpster, joking that as long as the trading player comes near this dumpster, I can activate the corpse explosion skill that will blow him away. Even if the player survives the blast, I can still use the curse of fear to subdue him. The man was beyond excited. Before I kill him, I'm going to have some real fun with him. Just then, heavy footsteps echoed from behind. Seeing this, the man was thrilled. Is he finally here? Once you get close to that dumpster, I'll blow you to hell. The next moment, Black Lotus appeared before him, disguised as someone else. The man watched, whispering to himself, 1 more step? Yeah, that's it. Just 5 more steps. But then, Black Lotus stopped. The man grumbled. Why did he stop? Halfway. The disguised Black Lotus asked, Are you the one selling the items? The man grit his teeth. If he takes 2 more steps, I can trigger the skill. What are you doing over there? Don't you want to buy the immortal skin? Sitting there, the man smirked. I didn't expect you to get here so fast. He thought to himself that if he got too close, he'd be caught in the blast zone too. I could use the curse of fear to break him, but that would be too boring. Don't you want to trade? I'm already here, so why aren't you coming over? The man said, My leg hurts a bit. Can you come over here for the trade? Black Lotus replied, Do you have any idea how far I walked for this? Do you want to trade or not? Or was that immortal skin a lie? The man suppressed his temper. I'm just telling you my leg hurts. Does it really? We agreed to meet and trade, but now you're stalling. Are you trying to lure me in to rob me? You look like a damn scammer. You don't even have the skin, do you? What a waste of time meeting a fraud like you. Someone like you should just drop dead. The man was shaking with rage after being insulted by Black Lotus. Then he yelled out, Look here. This is the real deal. They Immortal skin. Hearing this, Black Lotus flashed a sinister grin. So it really is, he said. The man's heart tightened. What the hell's wrong with this guy? Why is he laughing? Suddenly, a slash fell from the void. The man's arm was instantly severed, feeling the intense pain. The man screamed. He didn't understand what happened. The opponent was still far away, without moving. Then, a whisper echoed in his ear. Are you looking for me? The man was confused. How could there be two of the same person? Black Lotus gave a mock. The man dwindled, spiraling. Why are there two of them? Black Lotus mocked. It's always just been me. As he spoke, the Black Lotus in front vanished into thin air. Behind him, the real Black Lotus reached down to pick up the immortal skin. I'm under no obligation to explain anything to you, he said. The man was furious. He had never been so disrespected. He activated the curse of fear. This skill requires direct eye contact, the success rate and duration. Depend on target's resistance. Black Lotus didn't even flinch. He just stared back as if looking at an idiot. The prompt showed, target resisted. The curse of fear has failed. The man looked absolutely stunned. This was the first time his skill had ever failed. While the man was in shock, Black Lotus launched a fierce assault. The man couldn't believe his stats. Couldn't block the attack. He couldn't even see the movements. In an instant, he was sent flying like a dead dog. His body wouldn't stop shaking. Am I going to die here? But then, Black Lotus cast a healing spell. Particles of light surrounded the man. He was shocked. My wounds, they're all healed, Black Lotus said. Who said you could space out? I'm not done with you yet. Another brutal beatdown followed. Every time the man was near death, Black Lotus would heal him again. The man endured the pain. He thought the previous failure was just bad luck. I'll make you regret playing with me once the cooldown is over. The moment it finished, he tried to use it again. But before he could even trigger the skill, Black Lotus pierced both his eyes. Did I say you could fight back? Black Lotus asked coldly. The man was livid. This was the first time anyone had toyed with him like this. Blinded, the man could only swing his sword wildly, trying to hit something. Black Lotus didn't hesitate, parrying with his sword and kicking the man away. The force sent him flying several meters. The man struggled to stand. He was blind, and his arm was gone. At this rate, he was definitely going to die. Suddenly, he remembered the corpse bomb in the dumpster. A crazy smile spread across his face. If I'm dying today, I'm taking you with me, he roared. Corpse explosion. The entire alleyway was swallowed by violent energy. The blast caught the attention of people nearby. Looking at the wreckage, they wondered. Kabanagov, the police on duty, suggested it. Must have been a gas explosion. Nearby, on top of a small building, Black Lotus stood quietly. I almost let you die in that blast. This man's name is Chu Sungtae. In the Angel Games overall rankings, he always hovered between second and third. I need to use him. He possesses a very useful drop rune that increases item drop rates. But if I just let him go, he'll keep killing. After thinking it over, Black Lotus healed him, including his blind eyes. But he had no intention of restoring his limbs. As long as he's alive, he can enter the game with his soul. But in reality, without limbs, he's much less of a threat. A while later, the man woke up in a daze. He looked around, remembering he triggered the bomb. Seeing his missing arm and leg, he screamed. Come out, what the hell do you want? Then he noticed a note nearby. It read, you are useless now. I have zero desire to kill someone without limbs. In other words, you're just worthless trash. The man clutched the note, shaking with uncontrollable rage. Not only did he block the explosion, but he also insulted me. I'm not even worth finishing off. I'll make you pay for looking down on me like this. Meanwhile, at the Imperial Hotel, Julie said this was the most delicious food she had ever eaten. I'm glad you like it. Let me stay with you a bit longer today. Julie was a bit surprised. This is the first time you've ever said that. Actually, I wanted to spend time with you like this for a long time. Julie spoke with a hint of resentment, noting that he had postponed their dates several times recently. You were getting busier and busier, she said. Black Lotus thought to himself that lately, he truly had been swamped with PCW meetings and website shareholder conferences. But postponing the dates with Julie was for a more critical reason. Recently, someone had been tailing him. Black Lotus knew clearly that the person was Jeffrey, a level 28 assassin, and the one who ordered him to watch. Me must be Craig, Christine's father. At first, he didn't realize he was being followed. He only discovered it by chance after using detection magic. However, with the naked eye, he couldn't see any trace of anyone. That meant the person was either an assassin or possessed invisibility skills. He thought I wouldn't notice him, so he was quite relaxed. From the day I spotted him, I began counter-tracking. The moment he deactivated his stealth, I recognized his identity and eavesdropped on his calls. From those conversations, I learned that Christine's father was concerned about my prophecy regarding his daughter, which is why he ordered Jeffrey to monitor me and determine if I am truly a prophet. Currently, Black Lotus is on a date with Julie. Surprised, asked about the 7th round. Is it true that we just need to avoid temptation? Exactly, as long as you don't give in to temptation, you will be fine. A mission for the 7th round is incredibly difficult for most people, and the elimination rate is very high. I need to protect these people until the 20th round, doing my best to make sure they can reach the final stage alive. Looking at Julie, Black Lotus spoke very seriously. Let's survive until the very last round together. Hearing this, Julie's face flushed red, and she gave a soft hum of agreement. A few days later, the angel game descended again. Everyone was tense, standing in place with heavy hearts. The angel announced that there were only about 400 players left in this round. The decrease in players made the game lose its fun. Let me merge the zones again. As soon as the words were spoken, the ground began to shake violently. Areas from all directions were pieced together, eventually forming a much larger zone. A notification signaled the end of the merger. The total headcount is now 4,992. Then, the angel spoke, saying that this is a proper stage for winners. Since the merger is complete, you should choose new zone representatives. Suddenly, several beams of light appeared in the sky. Black Lotus understood the angels were discussing the selection rules for the new representatives. I need to become a representative again. This way I can gain the right to use the representative equipment once. Additionally, this side quest rewards a mental barrier rune. This is an essential item, as the mental barrier rune can perfectly counter that woman's skill from PCW. These 2 items are a must-have for me. Meanwhile, the angels were discussing the representative rules. I heard that last time. After the zone merger, you held an interesting game where the representatives fought each other. The current representative of Black Lotus' zone smiled awkwardly. At that time, his zone had lost, and he was forced to host the game. He then smiled and suggested they could continue using combat to decide. An angel nearby shook its head. Your zone has the Black Scythe. He is the only level 50 player in the entire game. Hearing this, the zone representative asked, and what do you suggest? Their resentment. They had to go explore. Mr. Black Scythe, long time. The Black Scythe is too powerful. We definitely won't allow combat to decide the representative. This round's mission has nothing to do with I appreciate whoever telling me the aim inverse becomes. Since the members of those swords resync yourself still, his own representative had her choice, but to agree. Soon, Priscilla announced that they had decided on a new selection method. The first player to complete the mission will be the representative. Then, everyone heard the sound of the game starting. The mission panel appeared instantly. People couldn't believe it. Why are the main missions hidden? Is there a glitch in the game? The angel stated that it wasn't a mistake, but that the 7th round was originally a hidden round. The crowd shouted that without mission info, how are we supposed to finish? How you finish is not for me to worry about. Anyway, all the information for this round has been released. The game has begun. The countdown had already started. Many players were whispering that these angels really do treat us like toys. They are getting more and more reckless. No, see, how have you been? Black Lotus looked at everyone. Why are you all together? And Xianja said they just happened to run into each other. Mr. Black Scythe, do you know the specific mission details for this round? Why would you ask me that? All I know is that this round is a mystery. Mr. Black Lotus, I have information about the 7th round, Black Lotus asked. Coldly, how would you know? And Xianja didn't notice the change in his tone and said he heard it from a prophet. Hearing this, the Black Scythe's expression turned completely cold. Even though he helped hide it last round, he realized Xianja could not be trusted. Only then did Xianja notice Black Lotus's expression. Looked a bit off, Black Lotus asked, is there really a prophet? And Xianja thought he didn't believe it, and quickly said Su Aling had also met this prophet. Black Lotus thought to himself, yet another person who can't be trusted. Tell me, what did the prophet say? He told me not to be seduced in the 7th round. Julie was already thinking, could the prophet Xianja mentioned actually be Black Lotus? What does do not be seduce me? Julie asked quickly. Actually, I am not sure what the exact meaning is. He only gave me such vague words. Beside him, the Black Scythe sighed softly. Luckily they don't know that I am the prophet they are talking about. We should split up to gather more information. And Xianja was stunned. Are we splitting up this time? Since we don't have the mission details, splitting up is the best decision, Julie said with a bit of nervousness. Do I have to split up from you two? After getting a positive answer from the Black Scythe, Julie responded dejectedly. Then Julie walked toward the forest. The Black Scythe shook his head helplessly. He had to concentrate a game as fast as possible to get the rune. Just then, a scream from Julie came from the forest. Black Lotus rushed toward the forest immediately. He reached the edge of the woods in less than 10 seconds. but the scene before him left the black scythe frozen in place. Bloodstains were everywhere, and Julie was slumped weakly on the ground. Tree. Her lower abdomen had been brutally impaled. The black scythe panicked upon finding Julie after the sneak attack. How could this happen? Julie spoke in agony. Black Lotus, please help me. The black scythe froze. You knew I was Black Lotus. You were so good to me, I knew it. All along. Besides, you are my first love. How could I not recognize you, even though you tried to hide yourself? I was just pretending not to know the whole time. Black Lotus broke down. Who the hell did this? He immediately used a healing spell to treat her. Luckily, he arrived just in time. A moment later and she would have been gone. Julie was shocked that the healing had such a dramatic effect. Rest for a bit and tell me. Who ambushed you? You already know the answer. The black scythe looked incredulous. Mr. Black Scythe, were you looking for me? I have been waiting for you here for a long time. You jerks, how dare you betray me? Don't be so angry, Mr. Black Scythe, or perhaps I should call you Mr. Prophet. I ambushed this woman just to test you. Your actions in the last round made me suspicious. It seems this woman really is important to you. Julie cried and apologized for being a burden. At this moment, the black scythe's rage reached its peak. He glared at Xianja. Don't look at me like that. When I confirmed the black scythe was the prophet, I was absolutely stunned. So Julie was just a pawn to test me, no other reason. She seems very close to you, so I figured she had some leverage value. I never thought the legendary black scythe's weakness would be a weak support woman. And Xianja, I will make you pay for this. He then summoned the Scythe of Death, and Xianja quickly shouted, you'd better hold on. If you come any closer, I will detonate the bomb inside Julie. The black scythe realized the skill bomb had been planted in her. Of course, he's the one who planted it for me. The black scythe was in total disbelief. Why would Ivy betray me too? Mr. Black Scythe, I am so sorry for hurting you. But why? Why did you all betray me? Upon reaching level 40, Ivy learned the Black Seed skill. The Black Seed can be planted anywhere and detonated at any time. The explosion also summons a demonic creature. The black scythe was in despair. You actually put Black Seed in Julie. You were my idol, the goal I worked toward to get stronger. If you admired me so much, why betray me? It was more than just admiration. In my eyes, you were basically a god. But, hey, God is supposed to be all-powerful and beyond restraint. Now you look so helpless. I have no reason to worship someone who is cornered. Black Lotus asked, what do you want? I didn't realize this woman meant so much to you. The person I rely on most. As long as you don't hurt her, I will do whatever it takes. And Xianja laughed triumphantly. What should it be? The treasure locations? Info on the next round? I could tell you everything. But I won't let anyone deceive or control Mr. Ma. Leaving you alive is a constant threat. End your own life, right now. Julie pleaded through her trembling. Don't do it. Black Lotus calmly stated, if you spare Julie, I will end it. Remember to keep your promise. He then swung the Scythe of Death toward his own throat. Julie screamed in agony, trying to stop him. In the next moment, Black Lotus's body collapsed like a broken string. In his final moments, the Black Scythe thought that as long as Julie was saved, he was satisfied. He would never forget the faces of those traitors. A system prompt appeared. Hidden quest discovered. It was followed by hidden quest complete. End your own life. Black Scythe has broken free from the illusion. Main quest. Escape the illusion within 2 hours. The Black Scythe was still in a daze, standing there blankly. Was Julie's injury and the betrayal all just a dream? After a moment, he slowly regained his senses. He remembered everything. The main task of the 7th round was to escape the illusion. However, if you know the mission beforehand, it's harder to break the illusion's control. So, before the 7th round began, I used my representative authority to manipulate myself. The command I gave was to only regain my erased memories after the side quest was complete. I even placed a stronger command on myself before entering, to protect Julie at all costs. Julie is the girl I love most. To others, it might be a loot, but to my memory-wiped self, it felt like a real betrayal. Thankfully, wiping my memory and setting the command to love Julie allowed the illusion to start from her. Everything went exactly as I predicted. Just then, footsteps approached. Mr. Black Scythe, did you also break free from the illusion? It looks like you did. Su Aling said it was a struggle to escape. Then, Su Aling mentioned the others hadn't broken out yet. Lunia spoke up, saying, Mr. Black Scythe, this might be sudden, but I've liked you since the first time we met. The Black Scythe showed no emotion. Instead, he summoned the Scythe of Death. Su Aling was terrified. Mr. Black Scythe, what are you doing? Before she could finish, he cut her down. With a thud, Su Aling fell to the ground. The Black Scythe muttered to himself that the illusion was still trying to trick him. A notification rang out. Main quest complete.